Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing tonight? We take a look at the top 100 prospects for 2022 on FanGraphs. Let's get to it. And hello, baseball fans. Hello. Odd Villain, what is going on, my friend? Lionheart70, Jacob, Zohabe, what is going on? Chris, hello. Rayneel, what's going on? I think I said that right. Jacob, Bobby, what is going on? Lando Sports, Chris, Jacob, William, we got some members in the chat tonight. Tom, what is going on? How are we doing? Dustin, hello. Enrique, what's going on? How are we doing? Nicholas, one of our moderators, is here tonight. Hello. Ian, Adrian, Ethan, is here. Hello. What is going on? How are we doing? Anyone else coming in? Hirsch for real. What's going on? Aiden Cox, Steven, what's going on, my friend? Bobby, hello. All right, we're at around 100 people to start things off, and Orlando is here. Eris14 is here. What's going on? How are we doing? All righty, well, it looks like we're kind of now in spring training mode. We're in season preview mode now. Just in case you did miss it the other night, had a great interview with David Sampson, former president of the Marlins. If you have yet to see that, hey, go give it a watch. I thought it was a really cool conversation. Got to learn about a couple of things, a couple of little stories maybe we hadn't heard about before. And, hey, just a good talk overall. I would love to do more of those in the future. So, hey, who knows? Maybe we'll get some stuff in the future. But for tonight, again, like I said, we're in season preview mode now. I feel like we're off of that high of the off season now. We can kind of start to relax a little bit, kind of start paying attention to our teams during spring training. But to me, I mean, this is a perfect time to be talking about prospects, to look towards the future. I will be getting into my actual previews for Major League Baseball over the next couple of weeks. The week of the season starting, that's when I will release my predictions. I'm still kind of lining up the schedule a little bit. I'm still undecided on a couple of things that I want to do, but I definitely will be doing my predictions the week of, either that Monday or that Tuesday. I would like to do the Monday, kind of start off the week in with some juicy predictions that I'm going to get all of them wrong, by the way. All of them are going to be wrong. So, but what else we got coming up in the next couple of weeks? Yeah, gonna be previewing all of the positions. Just kind of, gonna be looking at some underrated players to keep an eye out for. I'm gonna be looking at some possible bounce back players over the next week or so. So, really, it's kind of hard getting from off-season free agency trades and getting into this mode and doing it so quickly too. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for this season. But tonight will be the focus on prospects. And MLB Pipeline came out with their top 100. I actually don't think I did a stream on that. So maybe I'll save that for another night, possibly. But I have been wanting to talk about the FanGraphs top 100. I really like FanGraphs when it comes to prospects. MLB Pipeline, I do like MLB Pipeline, but I like their presentation out of all of them, I would say. But when it comes to accuracy, when it comes to, what's the right word I'm looking for? Reliability. When it comes to a company that really just knows how to get the nitty gritty on the prospects, I love Baseball America. That's my favorite one out of all the three. But FanGraphs is really good too. They really go in depth. They use a lot of projections to come up with their rankings. So very interested to see what their rankings look like. I have dabbled a little bit on it, but to really kind of dive into it tonight, I'm pretty excited for it. So, but let's get into it, everyone. But before I get started, like I always have to do, hit that subscribe button for me if you are new. Hit that like button for me. Everyone, how many likes are we at right now? What are we at? 46 likes, and we got 135 people here in the chat. Come on, everyone. Take that finger and hit that like button for me. Everyone, hit the bell notification, especially with the season coming up. You're really going to want to turn on that bell notification. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff during this season, a lot of variety for this upcoming season. We got power rankings. We're bringing those back from last year. We're going to be doing game watch-alongs. I'm even going to be introducing looking at the week ahead. I'm going to be doing a weekly stream on that. We're going to be doing some MLB The Show 22 Q&A. I'll be playing Road to the Show or whatever it is, doing some Q&As, answering some questions from you guys, and, just talking baseball. So really do hit that bell notification. I'm really excited for this season. And hey, share the stream if you can. Hop on Twitter, hop on Facebook, Instagram. Go down the road. Go talk to Grandma. Go get her in here as well. And let's get to it, everyone. Let's get to it. So, like I said, FanGraphs top 100. So let's get into it. I don't know if any other. I know DraftNet Mark has looked at the pipeline rankings. I don't know if anyone's looked at the FanGraph rankings. I feel like they kind of came out with it pretty quietly. I could be wrong. I don't know if anyone else I didn't really see anyone talking about it all that much. So, but yeah, if we are the first, then hey, that's pretty cool. If not, then well, that's cool too. So let's get into it here. Coming in at number 100. We got Asa Lacy. Asa Lacy, this is a big name, hearing about him in the 2020 draft. You really like his stuff. Good fastball. He's got a good slider, good curveball. Changeup is okay, but the command with Asa Lacy, it's not as great. He tends to walk guys, and and the reason for that, a lot of scouts think it is because of the mechanics a little bit. They worry about his shoulder durability down the road, but Asa Lacy has really good stuff, so not surprised to see him crack the top 100. This is one of the top picks in the MLB draft a couple of years ago. However, with Asa Lacy, if we actually pull up some stats here, how's the music doing for everyone? Everyone, let me know in the chat. I won't talk for like a few seconds. Let me know if the music's too loud, if it's too quiet. Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if the music's good, or if it's not. All right, cool. Oh yeah, I was kind of listening to the music too. It sounds all right. So, but taking a look at Lacy's stats from last year, taking a look, he was in high A ball last year. If you look at the ERA, a 5.19. He was getting a lot of strikeouts. I don't know if you guys can see, actually. Can you see all that? No, darn it. I got to move the screen over just a little bit. But if we take, hold on, let me move it. Let's see if that's good. How's that looking? All right, there you go. So as you can see here, 13.7 strikeouts per 9. But look at the walks. 7 walks per 9 over 14 starts. So that's where the command is a bit of an issue. So seeing him in the top 100, it really is because of the stuff. He has a good fastball. He's got good velocity, good slider, solid curveball as well. He just needs to get those mechanics in check and get that, get the command under control. And who knows, maybe Asa Lacy can climb back up here. So, and if we actually, one more look here, he did pitch in fall ball. He had 4 starts. As you can see, look at the strikeouts. I mean, he had 15 strikeouts over 7 innings. So it looks like when he was getting starts, he was just opening games. So really just basically relief appearances. But, I mean, hey, 15 strikeouts over 7 innings. I mean, that's not too shabby if you ask me. So, But Asa Lacy coming in at number 100. At number 99, we got Heliot Ramos. Heliot Ramos. So as you can see here, the power with Ramos, that's where FanGraphs likes him the most. Gives him a pretty good grade for the speed as well, 55. And a good arm. So the only problem with Ramos, they're not quite too high on him when it comes to the fielding. But the power with him, it's more raw at this point. They're giving him a 45 for game power. But Heliot Ramos, I believe, on Pipeline, I believe he ranks... Oh, is he not in the top 100? Ah, so I believe he was in the top 100 last year. So it looks like on Pipeline, at least, he has fallen out. So if we actually go to... Oh, they haven't given... Okay. So... he was number 4 last year for the San Francisco Giants. Now, actually, let me go to the overall top 100. I believe Ramos was on here. Oh, here, let me show the full list. Yeah, Heliot Ramos was number 80 last year, so at least on Pipeline. But, he does still crack the top 100 on FanGraphs. So if we pull up his numbers, actually, I can just pull them up here. So last year, if you take a look here, on base percentage is pretty low. 116 games, 323 on base, a 254 average. Has some pretty good power, but look at the strikeouts, 138. So he does have 15 stolen bases, or he had 15. So the athleticism is there, the power is there. He just doesn't have a lot of great plate discipline at the moment. So, but they do like the raw potential of him. He's an athlete. So let's see if he can improve this coming year. Coming in at number 98. Hey, bit of a surprise, maybe to some people here, bit of a surprise. Brady House coming in at number 98. I could see people not being surprised about him being in the top 100, but then I could also see some people maybe being a bit surprised, thinking, oh, he's so young. I believe he is the youngest player on this list. I would imagine he's 18 years old, just over 18 years old. I believe Marcelo Mayer might be a little younger. I actually did jot down some notes. Again, I didn't really dive too much into this tonight, or for tonight, but I did jot down a couple of notes here. Let me pull up those notes. I believe he is the youngest on this list. Hold on. Come on, phone. You are killing me right now. You are just killing me. Here we go. Yeah, so Brady House is the youngest. Okay, so is the youngest on this list. And we will eventually get to the oldest. So, but Brady House, with Brady House, it's power all day. This guy, he's 6'3", he weighs 215 at 18 years old. I mean, good grief. This guy, he's going to be a machine if he just gets that hit tool going. As of right now, they're only giving him a 20. Only a 20 hit tool, but the raw power is there. They're only giving him a 20 game power right now. As of right now, he was a shortstop coming in, but a lot of people think he is going to be third. There's just not a lot to go over with Brady House at the moment, just because simply there's just not a lot on him. I mean, he just got drafted this past year. And I'm going to be honest with a lot of you, or with all of you here in the chat, with these guys that were just drafted, especially out of high school, I tend to put these guys lower on the list. That's just my personal preference, because I want to see what these guys can do in the minor leagues. So, when I see Marcelo Mayer at number 14 on Pipeline, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's too high. I mean, listen, I know I can show my giraffe neck Robbie sometimes, and I love that we got Marcelo Mayer. I love the potential, but, to put him at number 14, to be honest, I would not put him over Brennan Davis at the moment. I would not put him over Tristan Cassis at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't even put him over Jack Leiter at the moment, to be completely honest with you. And Jack Leiter, he is also in the same boat where he has, he hasn't played Major League Ball at this moment, but he played college at Vanderbilt. That's a really good competition. A lot of Major League Baseball talent in that, with the SEC. So Jack Leiter, I would personally put over Marcelo Mayer. There's a lot of guys I would put over Marcelo Mayer right now, but just simply because I'm not doubting the talent. Obviously, there's a lot to like. Just go watch some video. But high school kid, how is he going to react, to much better talent? So you never know. So anyway, I digress. But you are going to see a lot where I am going to lean more towards, the more experienced players. So Brady House, that's where, yeah, sure, he was a top 15 pick in the draft this past year, but he's very young. But I can agree, because of the power alone, I could see him being at least at the bottom part of the top 100. So Brady House, I'm excited for him, and hopefully he can just, keep getting better. There's a lot of raw potential there. So 97. Corey Lee, catcher for the Astros. Not a lot of Astros on this list. And actually, Houston only has, they do actually have 3 players on this list. So he is the lowest one, obviously. But Corey Lee, I think, hey, with Martin Maldonado on the Astros, Corey Lee could definitely be someone that ends up helping out sooner rather than later. I mean, look at the throw, 70. I mean, that's an awesome grade right there. They still feel like the fielding needs to come a long way. And hey, seeing a 50 run for a catcher, that shows that he has athleticism for a catcher. They think the power could be really good, 55 raw power. They don't like the hit tool so much. So if we actually pull up Corey Lee, is it Korey? So Corey Lee, how did he do in the minors last year? So he actually did play some fall ball. Pretty good on base, 352. But last year in the minor leagues, hit 277, 340 on base. 11 home runs, 45 RBIs. Pretty good numbers. Let's see. Is he on the Baseball America? Baseball America has him at number 70. So, again, I tend to lean towards Baseball America when it comes to rankings. So they definitely think he is a lot higher. Baseball America, again, they love his arm, 270 arm. They actually think his running is a little lower. But they give him and when you're looking at these grades here, 50 hit, 50 power, they go in line with his numbers, I would say, honestly. 277 average over 3 different levels. As you can see here, the higher he got, the worse his numbers got. So, I think with them, he's gonna take a little bit. But hey, being a catcher, there's not a lot of them out there. So, Corey Lee, keep an eye on him. I can't wait to see if he gets to the major leagues, which I eventually think he will. That arm, I'm excited to see that arm. So, number 96, we have Seth Johnson. I feel like this is a name that not a lot of people have really heard too much about, but he was a first-round pick in 2019. As you can see here, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. I mean, as you can see with the curveball, 45 as of right now, 40 changeup, a 30 command. So he kind of reminds me of Asa Lacy a little bit, but they're giving Seth Johnson a bit of a step ahead over Lacy. So if we go pull up, what is going on here? Seth Johnson. I would imagine maybe he's a little ahead of Lacy at the moment, just because maybe his numbers are a little better in the minor leagues. So he was the 40th pick in the 2019 draft. So looking at him last year, yeah, just like I thought, 23 games, 16 starts, a 2.88 ERA. Strikeouts are good. This is in single A, by the way, so he still has a long way to go. 3 walks per 9. So as you can see, he's got very similar grades to Asa Lacy, but the numbers were better. So, the fact that he's walking 3 guys per 9, you would think maybe they would put the command a little higher, whereas with Asa Lacy, they had his command at a 30 as well, but Lacy's command, being a 30, same thing. This guy was walking a ton of guys. So, a little surprised that, Seth Johnson gets a 30 at the moment. I think, honestly, you should maybe bump it up a little higher, maybe 35 at least. So, but Seth Johnson, Again, similar when it comes to someone like Lacy when it comes to the grades. He is a righty, by the way, while Lacy is a lefty. So, and hey, you can get up to 99, close to 100. So it says here, Johnson's plus stuff always impressed more than the results during his tenure at Campbell. But the Rays might be the perfect team to help him weaponize it. So Seth Johnson could be an underrated prospect to keep an eye out for, especially in the Rays system. So moving on to 95, Hunter Brown, another Astros prospect, number 2 on their list. Hunter Brown, I definitely think we could see him maybe even this year. Let's go pull up the numbers. I do wish... Actually, oh, you know what? I might be able to pull up their numbers right here. Oh, good. I can do that instead of having to bounce back and forth with Baseball Reference. So in AAA, 11 games last year, 8 starts. As you can see, 3.88 ERA. Kind of okay with the strikeouts, under 10 strikeouts per 9 in AAA. But he had almost 14 in AA. So he pitched about an even amount in AA and AAA. So he got the walks down. So probably what they had him work on in AAA was, hey, let's try and cut down on those strikeouts a little bit, and let's try and work on getting those walks down. So I mean, you can clearly see that's what they worked on here. So worked on, more control, pounding the strike zone more, maybe pitching more to contact. So Hunter Brown, hey, big fastball, has potential for a very good slider, but the curveball is, the money maker for Hunter Brown. They're giving him a future grade of a 70, while right now it's already at a 60. So could we maybe see Hunter Brown, who pitched in AAA last year? I definitely think you could see him at some point in the major leagues this year. I mean, especially with the Astros, having some guys with question marks when it comes to their health. So Hunter Brown, keep an eye out for him, and he can end up being a game changer for them maybe down the stretch. So here we go. 94, Bobby Miller. This is a guy, in the 2020 draft, I feel like wasn't really being given a lot of... I'm trying to compare him. Who is he like when it comes to the draft this past year? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But I feel like Bobby Miller was kind of like that guy that the stuff didn't really blow you away all that much, but just kind of a solid guy, As you can see here, they're saying he's pretty much topped out on his fastball at this point. There is a little room to grow with the slider, which is already really good at a 55. They think his changeup can still get better. They think his command can still get better. But it's kind of surprising that they're saying his command, right now only at a 30. As you can see here, I mean, according to the numbers, his command looks a lot better. 13 and a half strikeouts per 9. 2 walks per 9. Command looks pretty good to me. ERA, though, 4.82. So maybe that's where the command, they're not giving him as much leeway there, because maybe he's giving up too many hits than what they like. So maybe I could see that. But last year, and that was also in AA. So the majority of his numbers came in high A ball last year. Over 10 strikeouts per 9, 2 walks per 9, a 1.91 ERA in high A ball. But hey, when you go from A ball to AA, that's a big jump when it comes to talent. So Bobby Miller, this is a guy, maybe he could be a bit of a quick riser in this system with the Dodgers. They develop pitching really well. So who knows? Could we see Bobby Miller at some point? He comes in at number 94 on FanGraphs. At number 93, we have Alexander Vargas. Oh, am I hearing a super chat coming in? William Kinney with a $3 super chat. Look at that adorable dog. Look at the adorable dog. William, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. Everyone, I am going to be kind of rambling here, so I'll try to pay attention to the chat as much as possible. I'll try and take some breaks every so often, but if you do have a question or a comment, super chat will get my attention because of the noise. So, and it pops up on the screen. But I will be trying to check the chat here ever so often. So, Alexander Vargas, I feel like this is a guy he is kind of forgotten a bit about when it comes to the Yankees system. I mean, he is their third shortstop prospect that the Yankees have 3 shortstops in the top 100. So you got Peraza, you got Volpe, and you got Vargas. So now you already know that all 3 or the other 2 guys are on this list too. Well, we all knew Volpe was going to be, but actually there are some lists out there where Peraza is not in the top 100, believe it or not. So, but Vargas, taking a look here, not too big on the hit tool at the moment and the power, but where they like Vargas a lot is the athleticism. As you can see, a 60-run tool. The fielding, they think it has a lot more room to improve. They think it could be a 60, but his throwing is already really good. So taking a look at Vargas from last year in the minor leagues. Last year's numbers, I mean, hey, rookie ball 2019 did not have good numbers really. But in last year at the CPX level, 42 games, hey, 362 on base, a 393 slugging is not that great, but and how old is he? He is 20 years old, so there is still a lot more room to improve. Is he on Baseball America? Nope, only Miguel Vargas is on Baseball America. How about... Oh, another super chat coming in. James Hirota, Angels extend Max Stacy 3 years, $17.5 million. Not too bad for the Angels right there. Not too bad. Hey, we had the other move today with the Rockies and the Blue Jays. Raymel Tapia, Randall Grichuk. I actually like that trade for both sides. I think the Rockies, they're trying to load up more on the power. I think Grichuk, I think the bat with the exit velocity that he can produce, the fly balls that he was one of the he had one of the highest fly ball percentages last year. I believe he was in the top 25%, the top 25 last year when it came to fly balls. So Grichuk, I actually think could be a bit of a maybe a sleeper for next year just because of the ballpark factor. So I like that move a lot. But the Angels, hey, good move for them. Stacy, I like him. I like him a lot. So, but as for Vargas, so again, with Alexander Vargas, he does not make it in Baseball America's top 100 or Pipelines. So Vargas, there's a long way to go with him. Could you argue maybe he is a little too high on here? But what they say here, unlikely to ever hit for power, Vargas nonetheless has a chance to be a plus defender at one of baseball's most valuable positions, and he can really run. To be honest with you, I wouldn't put him on the top 100. I just think, sure, the hit tool could have a future value of 55, and that's great and all, but if it's right now only a 30 and he's got no power, I mean, to me, sure, I love the athleticism. I love the potential for his fielding and his arm, but I would like to see the hit tool come up a little bit, personally. So I think you could argue maybe he is a little too high here. So, but we'll have to wait and see. Yes, Hirsch for real. He is also a switch hitter, so that definitely helps. This guy is only 155 pounds. Alex, man, we got to eat a sandwich, man. Let's get a couple of sandwiches. Go get a proton shake and a gallon of whole milk, man. Come on, man. We gotta eat. We gotta eat. Come on, you're 6 foot tall. You're more than what are you? A couple inches taller than me, and I got about what? How much do I got on you? I got about 60 pounds on you, my friend. About 50, 60 pounds. Come on, man. Here we go. Gabriel Arias. There is a lot of Cleveland prospects that are going to be on this. Let's see. Actually, how many does Cleveland have? Cleveland has, actually, maybe not as much as I thought. Cleveland has 4 prospects on the top 100 here. So, but Gabriel Arias, the big thing with him is the fielding. So Arias has every tool except for hit, but he's coming off a year with a surprising performance at AAA. So let's go take a look at his numbers from last year. So he was actually in AAA. Remember, he was in one of those trades with the Padres, or he was in the trade with Mike Clevinger, I believe. So AAA last year, he hit 284 with a 348 on base. Those aren't bad numbers at all. So hey, got to give credit to him, man. But he in 2019 in A-ball, I mean, he actually hit pretty well there too. So maybe they're kind of Maybe they're kind of thinking here, or maybe they're not giving him enough credit, man. So, just saying. But hit tool, they're only thinking of 35 for the future. They actually do give him some pretty good raw power, 60 and 50 game power. Those are pretty solid numbers. As you can see with the home runs, he had 17 homers in 2019, 13 last year at AAA. He didn't even play in AA. He's went from A ball to AAA. So, and hey, to have 13 home runs, that's not too bad if you ask me. So that was over 115 games. I mean, sure, maybe major leagues, he could end up being like a 15, 20 home run kind of a guy. But according to his numbers the last couple of seasons he's played, his hit tool looks a lot better. So, but the big thing with him, fielding, future value of 60, has a 70 arm, good athleticism, 55 run. So, but Gabriel Arias coming in at number 92. I do like Gabriel Arias. So, number 91, Jordan Balazovic. Could this be a guy for the Twins? Listen, the Twins need more pitching, right? And, hey, Frankie Montas, Sean Manaea, those guys are still out there. I think Frankie Montas would be perfect for the Twins. But keep an eye out for Jordan Balazovic, man. This guy's been pretty solid overall. Last year in AA, 20 starts, a 3.62 ERA. About 9.5 strikeouts per 9, 3.5 walks per 9. You'd like the walks to come down, but under a home run per 9. So that's a good sign. He's not giving up any home runs, so that's pretty good. Super chat coming in. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of lag here. William Kinney, how do you think the Cubs did this offseason? I think in my offseason grades, I think I gave the Cubs a B. Can anyone confirm that? What did I give the Cubs? I feel like thinking about it, I probably gave them a B. I think they made some pretty good moves. Or did I give them an A? I can't remember. What did I give the Cubs? Can anyone tell me in the chat what I gave the Cubs? Oh, yeah. Okay. Packinad, you said an A. Yeah, I mean, I thought the Cubs, they had a good offseason. They really added some guys. They could have really, they could have tanked. They could have really sold off even more and, gotten many prospects as they could. But, hey, they made moves. You got to love it. They got Seiya Suzuki. They got Marcus Stroman. Added a shortstop and Andrelton Simmons. I mean, the guy couldn't even hit a beach ball if he tried, but the glove out there is fantastic. So, I'm just saying, man. I think the Cubs had a great offseason. William, thank you for the super chat. So, alrighty, here we go. But Balazovic, man, this guy is a pretty solid guy. He looks like a middle of the rotation kind of a guy. Someone that can give you some innings. Hey, big frame, 6'4", 55 fastball, future value of a 55 at the slider, 55 curveball right now. Changeup could be a little better. They think the command could improve, which I agree. It's funny because he is getting better command, and he's getting better command than some of these guys, but his walks are up a little higher. But, he does keep the home runs down, so that is nice. I would not be surprised to see Balazovic at all with the Twins. So, at some point this season, maybe even after a month or two. They need pitching, and I feel like this is maybe he could even win a job out of spring training. He pitched in AA last year, so look out for him. Coming in number 90, the last one in the 90s, we got Liover Peguero. I think this is a name not a lot of people have heard about. He is number 78 on Baseball America. So Baseball America likes him a little bit more. He's a shortstop, 55 hit, 55 run, 55 arm. Just a balanced guy. He was involved in the Starling Marte trade with the Diamondbacks a couple of years ago. So, and they're saying here, they make a good point. O'Neal Cruz, to me, when I look at O'Neal Cruz, I see O'Neal Cruz as like Aaron Judge. To be completely honest, like he's just huge. He just looks like the size of an Aaron Judge. So O'Neal Cruz, if you move him out to right field, and then maybe you got your shortstop of the future in Liover Peguero, you got Nick Gonzalez at second base. Oof, that sounds pretty good if you ask me, man. So here we go. Salt of the earth. Do you grade like this at school? Hey, Hirsch for real. He makes a good point. Got to grade lenient with second grade, man. Just saying. But yeah, I will say when I recorded that video, I think I was definitely just hyped over the off season. I've looked back at it over the last couple of days, and I've thought, maybe I could have bumped the Angels down, maybe to a B. Maybe I could have bumped the Cubs down, possibly to a B. But I feel like a lot of those teams that I had at an A, and honestly, I will stand by putting the A's at an A. I'll stand by that because they got great prospects. You know why? Just because you don't get superstar players or whatever doesn't mean you can't get an A. It depends on what your goals are for the offseason. Every team is going to have different goals. Now, if you achieve your goals, that sounds like a pretty good offseason to me. What, are the A's going to go out there and, go sign Chris Bryant? No. So, what? So they can't get a good grade because of that? So the A's, their goal right now was to cut payroll, get prospects, replenish that farm system. They had one of the worst farm systems, right? So the A's, they did exactly what they set out to do. So that, to me, they get a good grade for that. So, I understand I've been getting some comments saying, oh, maybe I'm being a little too lenient. Maybe I'm giving out some good grades. But I'm looking at what each team was trying to do. The Angels, they really needed guys for that bullpen. They needed some starting pitching. They did not need position players. So that, to me, they went out there and did exactly what they wanted to go do. And they got some pretty good players while they were at it. So, that's why with the Angels, I gave them a good grade. So to me, just because you don't go out and sign, Chris Bryant or Trevor Story or whoever, it doesn't mean you can't get an A, right? Or you can't get a good grade. So anyway, I digress. But, so Peguero, this is a guy, man, he's an all-around balanced guy at the moment. Baseball America, they like him a lot more. They have him at 78 while he's number 90 on here. They think the hit tool could get all the way up to a 60. They think the power, potential raw power is a 50. They think the game power is 45. While Baseball America, they have his power at a 50. So that sounds about right, 45, 50. But they love his athleticism. As you can see here, his run tool right now is at a 60. And he's already exceeding it. So they gave him a future value of 55. But they think the fielding can keep improving. So, hey, this is a pretty balanced looking player according to the scouting report. And if we go look at his numbers, here, in A-ball last year, not the best numbers overall, but he had 14 home runs and 28 stolen bases. So you would like the on base to be a little better. I would like to see a bit of a better batting average as well. But hey, you know what? Keep developing, and we'll see what we can get. But Zips, they actually are projecting him. They actually have some projections for him. They're projecting him for 98 games in the majors this year. Steamer doesn't think he's going to get any games. So, really weird. Steamer has him at 1 plate appearance with a .213 batting average. What is going on here? What is this? Anyway, but either way, I like Peguero. I think he's a pretty underrated prospect. Keep an eye out for him. That could be the Pirates' shortstop of the future. So, let's get into the 80s here, shall we? Coming in at number 89, we got Josh Smith. I think I actually saw that the Rangers, they're actually trying out Josh Smith at third base. Josh Jung, remember, he had to undergo shoulder surgery. He's going to be out for probably about half a season, according to the report. So Josh Smith, I saw that they are trying to get him some work at third base. And maybe, hey, this is the opening that, because you got to remember with the Rangers, their middle infield is pretty set, man. The middle infield's pretty set. So Josh Smith, hey, the fact, try him out at third, that could be a good thing. But taking a look, Josh Smith, they're projecting a 50 hit, 50 power. Not a lot of game power, but they like his athleticism. They like the field. They like the throw. So it says here, I mean, pretty much what I'm thinking here. He does everything pretty well, plays a viable defensive shortstop. He just sounds like a solid player. He was involved in the Joey Gallo trade. Let's take a look at what his numbers were. Let's see, Josh Smith. But yeah, he did really well last year. He went all the way from A-ball with the Yankees to Double-A with the Rangers. Look at his numbers with the Rangers in Double-A. 30 games, had a few homers, but he hit 294, 425 on base. You know, slugging could be better, but look out for Josh Smith, man. This guy could emerge. We'll have to wait and see. Out of LSU, I believe. Yep, LSU. Number 88, Josh Winder. Another pitcher with the Twins. Looking out for that pitching with the Twins. He's ranked ahead of Balazovic as of right now. Actually, I think Josh Winder is the oldest prospect on here. Over 25 years old. So, could we see Josh Winder at some point, possibly this season? Last year, he was in AAA, 4 games. Not a lot of strikeouts, but he keeps the walks down. Home runs, actually. 2 home runs per 9. Not a great ERA. Double-A last year, 10 starts, under a 2. So maybe they think a little bit more time in the minors is going to be good for him. So, but Josh Winder, it looks like a pretty balanced guy. 55 fastball for the future. Decent slider. Potential for a decent curve. He's got some velocity, can top out at 97, but they like his command. So that's the big thing. And if you take a look, I mean, it really shows looking at the walks, 1.5 walks per 9. So that could be a guy that, hey, come in, throw some strikes. I like that. So Josh Winder. Would I put him ahead of Balazovic? I don't know. I think I would put Balazovic ahead of Winder, honestly. But I do like the control that Winder has. Moving on, 87, Kevin Alcantara. I believe he was a part of the Anthony Rizzo trade. So not a lot for the hit, only a 20 hit right now. But look at the raw power, 70 raw power for the future, 60 game power for the future. He has athleticism, 55 run. They think his fielding could be better, but he's got a good arm as well. Long, lanky, and loaded with tools and projection. Alcantara has massive potential, plenty to prove. I mean, when you're looking at the raw power, when you're looking at the run, when you're looking at the throw, there's a lot. You can tell there's a lot of raw numbers here. It's a raw player. So, he really only played rookie ball, really, in his career so far. But last year, with the Yankees at the CPX level, 370 average, a 450 on base. It was over 9 games. Then he played 25 with the Cubs, hit 337, 415 on base, 609 slugging. So look out for him. There's a lot of raw potential here with Kevin Alcantara. Moving on, number 86, Andy Pages. We have an Andy Pages sighting. Taking a look here. With Andy Pages, the power is the big thing. He already has 60 raw power. They're saying the game power is only 35, 65 for the future. Decent run. He's got a good arm. So you're really seeing, from what I see, looks like a potential corner outfielder down the road. He has a good arm, average run, big power. But Andy Pages last year had himself a lot of home runs. If you look at the numbers here, 31 home runs at A-ball last year. 394 on base, 539 slugging. But, you know, with Pages, there's still a long way to go. And with the defense, they think it could improve a little bit. They're saying here, a compactly built Cuban player, big raw, with big raw and a rocket launcher for an arm. Pages needs to calm his swing and reduce the strikeouts as he learns that he just needs to let his natural strength play. If you take a look here, strikeouts, where his K percentage last year, almost a quarter of his at-bats, he was striking out. So if you can get that under control, man, Andy Pages, he can end up being something. Number 85, Jose Miranda. Hey, Jose Miranda, I think this is an underrated prospect here. They're not giving him a lot of numbers. 35 hit, 30 game power at the moment, 50 run. You know, it's not a lot with Miranda. But when you look at the numbers with him, there's a lot to like. Taking a look here, last year in AAA, he hit 343, had a 397 on base, a 563 slugging, 17 home runs, 56 RBIs. He does better than what the grades say. So it says here, Miranda is doing the Ty France dance as a positionless masher whose hit power combination outweighs his aggressive approach. So maybe they're thinking because of the aggressive approach, they're not giving him a lot for the hit and the game power. So, but those are great numbers last year. 84, Owen White. Not a lot of pitching when it comes to the Rangers overall in their system, but they're very top-heavy when it comes to their pitching. Jack Leiter, we'll talk about him in a little bit here, Cole Winn, and Owen White. So they got 3 pitchers in the top 100 on FanGraphs. Owen White, hey man, he's a pretty solid overall guy. Not a lot of velocity from him, but he has a good slider, decent curve, has potential for a good changeup down the road, but they love his command. They think he has potential for a 60 command. But look at the numbers last year in A-ball. 8 starts, 14.5 strikeouts per 9. The walks per 9 were pretty good. Not bad, but not great. Pretty good. 3. Definitely could come down a little bit, but the home runs, half a home run per 9. That's really good. 2.69 FIP. So Owen White, while, you put Cole Winn, Jack Leiter ahead of him, this is a guy that definitely could have a spot in the rotation down the road. Number 83, Geraldo Perdomo. We saw a little bit of him last year. Not a whole lot, but we had a bit of a taste of him with the Diamondbacks. So taking a look here, 45 hit, 30 raw power, 30 game power, but they love the athleticism, 60 run. They think he could be a 60 field, 55 throw. Let's actually see here. Is he on? So he's number 89 on Baseball America, so FanGraphs likes him a little better. They think the field is a lot better at 60. Not really too much when it comes to the bat. 50 hit, 45 power, but they like the athleticism, the fielding, and the arm. So if he played shortstop right now, at least you're going to get good defense with him. But the bat needs to come around. And actually, let's pull up his numbers. The numbers from last year, again, he played 11 games. He hit 258 with a 378 on base. But in the minors last year, he played his most at AA. As you can see, 231 average. So you can kind of see they're not really too keen on the hit tool with him. But he had a 350 on base, so it's a good sign. Will he hit in the majors? I don't know, but they like the athleticism and the glove. They just got to get the bat going. 82, Cole Henry. Cole Henry. With Cole Henry, you got velocity. 95, 97 is where he sits at. Can top out near 100. 55 fastball, 55 curveball, 55 changeup. It's just the command. He walks guys. He has the stuff. He just needs to be able to put it all together. With Cole Henry. Oh, hearing a super chat coming in. Super chat coming in. Conman752. What's up, Robbie? I know this isn't baseball related, but how messed up are your March Madness brackets, and who did you have winning? How are my March Madness brackets looking? I actually did pretty well in the beginning. I definitely had... one region didn't do very well. But, let's see here. How is my bracket doing? Where is my bracket? Hold on. Let's see here. I'm actually curious because I haven't looked at my bracket. All right. Bracket challenge. Here we go. So, my bracket right now, I have on ESPN, I have 460 points. That ranks 233,000. I'm in the 99th percentile. That's pretty good, right? 233,000. I'll take it. Out of how many brackets? But let's see, my bracket, my final 4 is still intact. My Elite 8, I had 2 teams that didn't make it. My Elite 8, I had Gonzaga, Duke, North Carolina, and Purdue, Houston, Tennessee. Tennessee's out. And Kansas, Wisconsin. My final 4, I have Duke and North Carolina, and Houston versus Kansas. And my national champion, in the championship game, I had Duke and Kansas with, I had Kansas winning the whole thing. So, we'll have to wait and see. But, hey, you know, hey, 233,000 for my ranking. I'll take it. Hey, I'll take it. So, but back to the rankings. Con Man, I appreciate the $5 super chat. Cole Henry, but again, this is a guy where, hey, you know, good stuff. He just needs to get the command under control. But when you look at the numbers, you know, 13 strikeouts per 9, 2 walks per 9, under a home run per 9. Cole Henry's looking pretty good. So, I don't know. I think he's outperforming his scouting report right now when it comes to the command. So, but he is also a 3-pitch guy at the moment. So they think he could end up being a reliever. But hey, maybe add another pitch. You know, maybe we could have something with Cole Henry. Number 81, Jordan Lawler, one of the top picks in the draft this past year. I really liked Jordan Lawler. You know, there was the debate between Marcelo Mayer, Jordan Lawler. They thought, you know, with Jordan Lawler, a more all-around player out of high school, more all-around shortstop, while Marcelo Mayer was, there was more when it came to the hitting with Mayer. But with Lawler, I mean, again, very young. He's 19 years old. So you all know how I feel about, you know, these guys making it, you know, into the top 100 when they're this young out of high school. But there's a lot of potential with him. I mean, he has potential to be an all-around player. So looking at what they have to say here, Lawler is a viable defensive shortstop prospect with a big frame, 6'2", but he's older than most high schoolers entering pro ball, which affects his projection. I think he's going to end up being really solid. He's got a good head on his shoulders. You just got to wait and see what he can do. So, number 80, Sixto Sanchez sighting. Where is he on Baseball America? They have him at 64. You know, Sixto Sanchez, man, he really was coming up, and then all of a sudden had to, you know, get an operation done on his shoulder. That's always scary. I'd rather you get something done with your elbow, not your shoulder. But, however, Sanchez, if he is healthy, big fastball, 80 fastball. Man, 70 changeup, 55 slider, 55 curveball, 60 control. He has all the makings of a frontline starting pitcher. It's just a matter of him getting healthy. So, if he can just, they like him more on Baseball America. So it looks like the health brought him down a little bit more on FanGraphs. So Sixto Sanchez, we'll have to wait and see. Here we go. In the 70s, Michael Busch at 79. I like Michael Busch. Solid player, middle infielder. Has 50 hit, 60 raw power at the moment. 45 game power, 50 run. They don't like the fielding so much with him and the arm. But, you know, hey, second base, I think, you know, his range, I wonder how it's going to be. I mean, he's only at a 50 run with a 45 future value. So for second base, you need that range. So it's very interesting. What are you going to end up getting out of him? The bat looks pretty good. But it says here, a bat-only prospect with a well-rounded offensive skill set. Busch may end up a 30-grade second base defender or play first or left field. As you can see, he's only 6 foot. So I wonder if he ends up maybe being an outfielder. So he needs, I feel like I wonder if he's going to have a home. You know, I was going to say maybe you could put him at third, but the arm isn't very good. So Michael Busch, it's going to be interesting what you end up getting out of him. But at least with him, there is a bat there. So maybe he could end up being some kind of a utility player, you know, play some left field, Maybe play some second base, first base, something like that. You know, kind of find ways to get into the lineup because that bat is good. So, number 78, Joey Weimer. Joey Weimer. I feel like this is a name we don't really see very much. He's not on Baseball America. But he's number 100 on MLB Pipeline. So they like him on Pipeline. Last year, he actually did pretty good last year. High A ball, he had a 428 on base. He hit 336, 14 homers, 33 RBIs. So his numbers really helped him out. As you can see here, big power, 60 power. You got to like that. The run, he's got power. He's got athleticism. He's got a big arm. So sounds like, honestly, he sounds like a right fielder. So we'll have to wait and see what he ends up doing. But they like him on FanGraphs. They like him more than MLB Pipeline. And I can see why. The hit tool, whatever, but the power's there. He's got athleticism, a good throwing arm. He sounds pretty good if you ask me. So they're saying here he reminds them of a Matt Olson. So, hey, Joey Weimer, could we end up seeing him? Oh, yeah, they have him at right field. So could we end up seeing him down the road? The Brewers, man, will be some nice power. So here we go. Number 77, Greg Jones. Greg Jones, a lot of athleticism with him, 70 run. But everything else is a little low. The raw power is okay. Game power is projected to be okay. But with Greg Jones, you're really looking at an athlete here. Plus athlete, still developing. There's a lot of raw potential with Greg Jones. So looking at his numbers from last year, I mean, as you can see here, AA, he barely hit. So really his tools alone, his athleticism alone is putting him high here. Do I put him this high on this list? I don't know. I mean, he's not on Baseball America's top 100. He's not on Pipeline. Or actually, is he on Pipeline? Oh, he is. He's number 91 on Pipeline. So, FanGraphs, Pipeline, they like him, but Baseball America, though, they don't have him on theirs. So, I kind of lean probably towards Pipeline here. I love guys that have athleticism, but if you're putting up numbers like these, you know, I know it's only 16 games. It is AA. Actually, no, hold on. So he was in high A ball, but again, AA, the talent there is a lot better. It's a lot better in AA. A ball, yeah, like I love seeing some good numbers at A ball, but I want to see these kind of numbers as well in AA. So I'm going to wait and see what he ends up doing in AA this year. But if he can put up these kind of numbers, oh yeah, we got it. You got yourself a really good prospect here. So, Greg Jones, premier athlete. Patrick Bailey, we got a Patrick Bailey sighting. Hey, Patrick Bailey, man, out of college, good hitting catcher. They were just more worried about the fielding. As you can see here, only a 45 field, not much of an arm. I mean, he's got a good bat though. He has a 60 future value for a bat. And he's a switch hitter. I remember when I was watching highlights of him a couple of years ago, you know, switch hitter, good bat, kind of reminds me of Jason Varitek a little bit, but not when it comes to the fielding. Jason Varitek was very good with his fielding. So Patrick Bailey, you know, with Joey Bart, could Bailey end up maybe being some kind like a first baseman possibly? First baseman, DH. You know, the bat alone looks like at the moment is what is going to carry him. So, but we'll have to wait and see. Ivan Herrera, catcher for the Cardinals. So with Herrera, you're not really getting a lot with, like, you know, he's still raw. Still very raw. 50 hit for the future. 55 raw power. 45 game power. You know, run, whatever. 55 field, though. And a decent arm. So, as you can see here, Herrera has been long on the radar as a legitimate catcher with intriguing tools, but defensive improvements along with some actualization of his power potential led to his prospect stock rising considerably in 2021. So they're wondering, you know, can his defense keep improving? It says here he's worked hard on his defense. He's had one-on-one sessions with Yadier Molina. So, what were his numbers last year? Last year, I mean, the numbers were not good. He had 17 home runs, but his batting average was low. Slugging was lower. But he put up some good numbers. But I think the key with him is going to be the glove. So that's one thing. If we're going to see Ivan Herrera, the glove has got to keep getting better. So if he can just give you enough power, enough of a bat in the major leagues, then good. But he definitely needs to improve the glove. 74, Cade Cavalli. Hey, Cade Cavalli, man. This is a guy where I feel like not a lot of people really, they don't want to put him up higher. And there's a couple of reasons why. In college, he had some injuries. I believe he had something with his shoulder. I think he had something with his back at one point. But when this guy, he is built, man. 6'4", 225. He's got a 70 fastball and a 60 changeup already. However, command, slider, those need to come up. I believe he had good numbers last year, though. Last year, in Double-A, he had good numbers. 11 starts, 12 strikeouts per 9. Oof, but look at the walks, though. 5 walks per 9. Those need to come up. 2.79 ERA. But when he got to AAA, those numbers really took a hit. So, Cade Cavalli, we still need to, kind of, let's see if he can take a step forward this year. I'm guessing he's going to start out in AAA. So we'll wait and see with him. But there's a lot of potential with him. Also, only 3 pitches right now. So we'll have to wait and see with Cavalli. But yeah, 73. Jason Dominguez. 50 hit for the future. Only a 20 hit right now. But look at the raw power, 60 raw power. But the game power is not quite there yet. Here's the thing. A lot of people have compared Jason Dominguez, Mike Trout. Okay? Mike Trout. But he still has a long way to go. He still needs to put a lot of it together. 19 years old. The guy's a freak athlete. The Zion Williamson of baseball. Dominguez is a bulked up, switch hitting tool shed. I mean, when you just look at him, the guy is just a beef castle. Are you kidding? Good arm, good run, good power. I mean, it's just he needs to get the hit tool up. The numbers didn't really impress last year. He is very toolsy at the moment. So last year he hit 258, 346 on base, but look at the slugging, only a 398. So he's got a long way to go. There's a long way to go, but he's only 19 years old. Could this be the year where he really takes a step forward? I believe Mike Trout, early on in his minor league career, it took him a little while to get going too. So 72, Christian Pache. Just saw him traded in the Matt Olson trade. We all know what's going on with Christian Pache. Glove is there. Hit tool needs to get better. But he has the potential to be a very good outfielder in this game. One of the best defensive outfielders already. 80 fielding already. 60 run. So he has a lot of potential, man. So we'll have to wait and see if that bat can get going. 71, Zach Veen. I like me some Zach Veen, man. I really do. I actually think I would put him up a little higher on this list. Veen, he's number 22 on Baseball America. So I don't know why. This might be one of my first gripes with this list. 71. I mean, that is, I don't know about that. Because if you look at Veen's numbers last year, he is built. He's 6'4", 190 at 20 years old. Look at the power. He's already got a 55 raw power, 70 in the future. They have a 35 game power, but he's an athlete. He's got a good arm. I mean, I don't know what the problem is. Like, what? I mean, look at the numbers from last year. He hit in 106 games at A-ball. He hit 301, a 399 on base, a 501 slugging, 15 home runs, 36 stolen bases. Like, why is he so low on this list? I don't understand that. Like, why is he so low? I don't know, but Zach Veen needs to be higher on this list. And let me actually see pipeline. He's number 36. Why does FanGraphs not like him? I mean, what is... So, it says here, a scout mentioned worrying about how dead and still Veen's hands are before they start to fire. Another trait he shares with Brown. What Brown are they talking about? Dominic Brown. So, remember Dominic Brown kind of flamed out. So they're not big on the mechanics, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, maybe, you know, that can keep getting better. But, I mean, these numbers are really good. So we'll have to wait and see. Zach Veen, I would put him up higher personally. But, you know, that is something to look out for. Maybe he could fade as he gets higher. Shea Langeliers, we have reached the end of the 70s. Langeliers, big arm. We just saw him traded for Matt Olson. A lot of a cannon for an arm, 60 throw, good in the field, big power. Hey, what else could you want? I mean, Oakland, you got yourself a power-hitting defensive catcher. Langeliers, man, look out for him. Hey, man, what happens with Sean Murphy, we'll have to wait and see. Into the 60s we go. Kobe Mayo, right fielder for the Orioles. Taking a look here. They like his power potential. 50 raw power at the moment, but it could be a 70. 30 game power, 60 power in the future. They like his arm. But it says here, big frame, big power, decent feel to hit. Perhaps a swing change away from vaulting into the top half of this list. Kobe Mayo, this is another guy I feel like not a lot of people are hearing about. But look at the numbers from last year in A-ball. Hit 311, a 416 on base, and a 547 slugging over 27 games. So not a lot of home runs at the moment. But the numbers are really good. So, I mean, I guess we're just going to have to... He's very young. He has not had a lot of time in the minor leagues, but, I mean, obviously with a slash line like this, that's pretty exciting if you ask me. Conman, 752. Kobe Mayo. Oh, Conman, Orioles fan. Kobe Mayo at 69. Nice. Not many places have had him in the top 100. Giraffe Neck Mark's biggest man crush. Oh, my. Oh, my. But yeah, Kobe Mayo, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really seen a lot on him. Let's see here. Kobe Mayo. Okay. Got a pretty aggressive swing. He's a little on the lankier side, it looks like. He's got quick hands. Yeah, he's got very quick hands. So, Kobe Mayo, man. Keep an eye out for him. I mean, like I said, very good numbers last year. So, Conman, 752. But yeah. Here we go. Ezekiel Duran. Conman, thank you for the super chat. Ezekiel Duran, this is another guy that was traded in the Joey Gallo trade. With Duran, you got a little bit of everything with him. More power, more of the field and the throw. Not too much game power at the moment, but he has the raw power. So it says here they tried him out at third base in the fall league. Big pull side power for Ezekiel Duran. Now, I will say one thing I do wish that FanGraphs put here was just his stats from last year. I think that would have been pretty nice. But last year he had pretty good numbers in high A ball with the Yankees. But when he went over to with the Rangers, not a lot going on there. 229 average, 287 on base, a 408 slugging. So he definitely took a bit of a dip there when he went to the Rangers. So with the Yankees, though, he was putting up some good numbers, man. He was putting up some good numbers. So, hey, why am I off the page? Hold on a second. What am I doing right here? There we go. Got to get in the corner. All right, cool. But yeah, Duran, again, this is another middle infielder. He was a middle infielder, but now it looks like they're trying to use him more at third base. So we'll have to wait and see what his future ends up being. But his numbers from last year with the Rangers, they definitely got to come up a little bit. But overall, he had 19 home runs last year, about 80 RBIs. So, yeah, keep an eye on Ezekiel Duran. Uri Perez. Hey, Uri Perez, everyone. This is an underrated guy. This guy's huge. He's 6'9". He weighs 190 pounds. Uri Perez, can you please eat a sandwich? I am like 10 inches shorter than... I'm 5'11". I'm 10 inches shorter than you, Uri Perez, and I got 25 pounds on you. Oscar, what's going on? Miller at 94 and no Vargas is not a good look. Ugh. Yeah, I feel like Miller maybe could have been a little higher. So, and then Vargas as well. Vargas is on the other lists, but, yeah, Oscar, man. Hey, at least for the Dodgers, you know they got a lot of prospects on here. But Oscar, thank you for the $2, my friend. Uri Perez, though, I'm telling you, look at this guy's numbers from last year. Really good numbers. With in A-ball, he had 15 starts. He had a 1.61 ERA. And in high A-ball, it was a 2.86. It looks like the FIP here, 5.32. The FIP isn't looking as good. But, hey, the guy is getting a lot of strikeouts. It looks like when he went to A-ball, he was giving up more hits. Looking at the home runs, 2 home runs per 9. But the strikeouts and the walks were still looking pretty good. So, with Uri Perez, you're getting potential for a big fastball. I mean, with the size alone, the guy could totally get more velocity on that fastball. Just, come on, Uri, let's add a little weight here, my friend. Come on. But curveball, 50 for the future. Good changeup potential. The command, 25 as of right now. It says here, built like a human skyscraper, Perez has incredible control of his limbs for a pitcher this tall, this age, who throws this hard. His ceiling is as lofty as he is. And the fact that he had good numbers last year, that's a good sign. So look out for him. I think he's an underrated prospect. Gunnar Henderson. We've talked about Gunnar Henderson a little bit, where I was thinking, hey, Gunnar Henderson, he still needs to show some better numbers in the minor leagues, so maybe the Orioles could have gone after Carlos Correa. But Gunnar Henderson, number 66, there's a good player here. There is a good player. I mean, the numbers last year, yes, the batting average could have been higher. The on-base could have been better at AA, and the slugging as well. But in high A-ball, he had some pretty good numbers besides the average. A 343 on base, 432 slugging is okay. But he struck out a lot, 30% of the time. So, yeah, we got to improve in that department. But Gunnar Henderson, he's got a good arm. Good run right now. They're projecting him for a 40 in the future. 60 field. So he sounds like a third baseman. So, not a lot of run for the future, but good in the field with a good arm. So they think his power can keep getting better. So this is another guy. He's just going to have to keep making strides. Let's see where he is on. They have him at 57 on Baseball America. And I believe they have him higher on Pipeline. No, it's 64. So they're right. They're all pretty much around the same range for Gunnar Henderson in the bottom half in the 60s. So, but yeah. Henderson, man, I'm looking for him to take a step forward. 65, Matthew Liberatore. This is a guy, I think he's kind of dropped down a little bit. His numbers last year were pretty average, honestly. Pretty average numbers. ERA in the 4s. 8 strikeouts per 9. 2.5 walks per 9. Home runs per 9 look pretty good. But you want him to be more. He's kind of a balanced guy. He's got a big curveball, good slider. Changeup could use some work. Fastball is, average for the most part. He's right now, according to the scouting report, looking at the numbers, he looks like a, middle of the rotation kind of a guy. So Liberatore, he could definitely help out with the Cardinals this year for sure. So Mark Vientos, power hitting third baseman for the Mets. This guy was involved in, trade proposals on baseball trade values all offseason. So, but Vientos, if they end up hanging on to him, this is a power hitting guy, in a pitcher ballpark with the Mets. This could be a guy that ends up being pretty valuable for you down the road just because of the power. As they say here, Vientos, huge raw power, but a C-ball hit ball approach prevents him from tapping into it. Defensive ceiling is a below average third baseman. Sounds like a designated hitter at the moment, but with that arm, you know, there is potential there. He's just going to have to improve in the field. So with Mark Vientos, man, he's going to give you a lot of home runs, big power. Last year, AA hit 281, AAA hit 278, but the on base was really good at AAA. Overall, had 25 home runs last year. So there is a potential player there, you know, and I think that could be a player for the Mets down the road. Number 63, Brett Baty, another Met. So back-to-back Mets here. Baty, to me, looks more like the complete player when you look at Vientos and him. Baty's got more potential in the field. He's got decent power, but he's got a better hit potential with power as well, with raw power to go along with it. Baty last year hit the Vientos. He had more power numbers, 25 home runs compared to 12 with Baty, but you know, hey, overall good slash lines. So Baty, I think, has the potential to be more complete. So we'll have to wait and see. Physical beast, huge raw power. Baty's swing doesn't enable him to get it into games yet. So look out for these two Mets. Number 61, Royce Lewis. So Royce Lewis, this used to be a top prospect, a lot higher than where he is now, but some injuries, inconsistencies has really dropped him on this list. But there's a lot of power here. There's a lot of athleticism. I believe he tore his ACL. But hopefully he can come back and he's good to go. He gets a lot of Derek Jeter comparisons. So Royce Lewis, man, there is potential there. But looking at his numbers from, I believe the last time he played was 2019. Yeah, hit 231 in AA over 33 games there. I mean, look what he was at, you know, in high A ball. Hit 238. He had a bad season. So, but if you go back to A ball in 2018, he looked pretty good there, you know, 2017 as well. But I don't know, man. I'm a little worried for Royce Lewis. There is still potential there. I don't know if I would I put him on this, you know, this high on this list? I kind of agree with Baseball America. 82 is where they have him. So I agree there. And let's see where they have him on Pipeline. Pipeline has him up higher. I completely disagree with this. 46 on Pipeline. I don't think he should be this high. So I don't know. That's just me. But I guess FanGraphs took the middle road when it came to both of those. Baseball America, Pipeline, they really disagree on him. So I don't know. We need to see something out of him. We need to see something numbers-wise. This could be his last year, man, where he really has a chance. I think he is going to be playing this year. I haven't really looked into the arm all that, or into the knee all that much, but Royce Lewis, let's see. Is there any news on him? Well, that is a good sign here too. Hey, Carlos Correa, man, that'd be, someone that could be, great to be with in camp. But yeah, Royce Lewis, it looks like he's in camp. So, but yeah, let's see if that does anything for him. But I think he is running out of time. Brandon Williamson going to the Reds in that trade with Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker. I like Brandon Williamson. There's good numbers here with him. There's a good scouting report. I think he's a bit underrated. He is a very complete pitcher. Look at this. 55 fastball already, 55 sliders, 60 curveball, 55 changeup. Brandon Williamson, man, do not sleep on this guy. I really like that the Reds got him. Look at his numbers from last year. 12 and a half strikeouts per 9 in AA, 3 walks per 9, 3.48 ERA. Yeah, maybe there could be a little bit to improve on when it comes to maybe some walks. But I mean, Brandon Williamson, man, I think he's an underrated guy. So keep an eye out for him. That definitely could be someone you see with the Reds this year. So they got a lot of pitching there, man. 60. Here we go. We're at the end of the 60s. Luis Medina. With Medina, big fastball, big curveball. Not too much else. Changeup is still lacking. Command is lacking. He looks like a guy where it could be maybe a closer. Doesn't he seem like a closer here? Big fastball, curveball, maybe a third pitch with a changeup, but he throws gas. I mean, at the least, a setup man. He's got big potential just because of the velocity alone. But they're actually thinking here more of a back-end bullpen kind of a guy. But that sounds like a Yankee, right? Back-end guy for the bullpen, big velocity. So Luis Medina, look out for him. Number 59, Elly De La Cruz. I believe he has been going off in spring training so far. And I believe he already has 4 home runs this spring. I could be wrong. But with Elly De La Cruz, man, he's a lanky dude, 6'5", 195 pounds. But there's 2 things to look at here. Raw power. Holy cow. They're giving him an 80 raw power for the future. And he has a 70 run already with a 70 throw. They say it perfectly here. Boom or bust prospect. He could be insane. Elly De La Cruz right now, I believe, is killing it. I mean, if we're looking at... I want to look at his spring training numbers. I believe he has 4 home runs already this spring. Hit a grand slam. Let's see here. Do they got his numbers here? Oh, no. Okay, maybe I saw the RBIs. Never mind. Sorry about that. He has 1 home run, 4 RBIs. But, hey, grand slam already. But it's spring training. But again, doesn't that sound like, it kind of goes in line with his, boom or bust. He comes up, first game, hits a grand slam. That sounds pretty boom or bust if you ask me. But, man, there's a lot of player here. It's just going to be a matter of, is he going to be able to put it all together? Because it's exciting, man. When you see 80 raw power, 70 speed, I mean, this guy could be incredible. Last year in A-ball, the numbers weren't really there all that much. He had 5 home runs. So there's a lot of work with him. He sounds like a Jason Dominguez, just the lankier version of Jason Dominguez. 6'5", 195. Jason Dominguez is what? He's like 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot. How tall is Jason Dominguez? 5'11", 215. So they're like the complete opposites. There's a lot of potential with both. But I would say Elly De La Cruz, honestly. Definitely more boom or bust with him. So, but man, oh man, 80 raw power and 70 run with a big arm. That's exciting. So, here we go. Max Meyer. I like me some Max Meyer. Like me some Max Meyer, man. Are we lagging here? I keep getting some lag over on my end. Sorry about that, everyone. Well, here we go. Max Meyer. This guy was good in college, man. When I think of Max Meyer, I think of a better Marcus Stroman. Size-wise, same. But this guy is way more electric, in my opinion. Big fastball, big slider. Changeup is not quite there, according to FanGraphs, but he sits in the mid-90s. He can top out over 100. So, but they think there is some reliever risk here. Max Meyer, to me, dude, honestly, I'm sure he loves reading these scouting reports. This guy, he seems like a gamer. If you ask me, man, he just wants to pitch, man. He's just throwing bullets. Nasty slider. Dude, that slider, what in college, I remember looking at his videos. Dude, has a nasty slider. So, looking at it, he had really good numbers last year, too. Look at his numbers last year. In AAA, 2 starts, he gave up, what, like 1 run over 10 innings. But look at his numbers in AA. He had a 2.41 ERA, 3.34 FIP, 10 strikeouts per 9. Walks could come down a little bit. So, Nikki. Robbie, you should apply to be on The Bachelor. What? Dude, I cannot stand shows like that, to be completely honest with you. I literally hate those shows. I'm convinced that they're all just completely fake. I don't understand. Why does America like shows like this? I don't get it. We need to watch more baseball. That's what needs to be more on TV. Anyway, Max Meyer, I like him a lot. Electric pitcher. Reminds me a lot of Marcus Stroman, but better. Stephen Kwan. I love this one, man. Stephen Kwan, man. Love it. Dude. 70 hit tool already. He's got athleticism with a 60 run, 55 field. He's got a good arm. This guy's on base percentage is through the roof. Look at his on base last year. In Double-A last year, he had a 411 on base. He struck out only 10% of the time. In Triple-A, over 26 games, he struck out under 7% of the time. He had a 398 on base in Triple-A. Dude, Stephen Kwan, I am telling you, is going to be really good. I like Stephen Kwan, man. Keep an eye out for him. He is for sure an underrated player. He's an on-base machine. I like him a lot, man, and no one's talking about him. So, 56, Austin Martin. He was, what pick did he end up being? He was the 5th pick with the Blue Jays not too long ago. Matt Freeman, welcome to the channel, my friend. Austin Martin, man, there's a lot to like with him. You know, he reminds me of Derek Jeter a little bit. Kind of has like that swagger. Kind of like Jeter, if that makes any sense. I don't know if anyone kind of gets those vibes. But the thing with Austin Martin is he just never really, you don't know where he's going to play. You know, his second, third, short, center field. I think he could be just one of those really good, like a Chris Taylor kind of a player, if that makes any sense. I think he could end up being that. But he's got a good hit tool. The power is not quite there, but I think he ends up being a really productive player just because of the hit tool alone, and he can play multiple positions. Last year in Double-A with the Blue Jays, hit 281. His on base was a 424, but the slugging with the Twins and the Blue Jays under 400. So, honestly, when I think of Austin Martin, I think of Chris Taylor. You know, that's what I think he's going to end up being. I like Austin Martin a lot. I really like that the Twins got him. So, 55, Vidal, Brujan, tons of speed, good hit tool, but the dude could not hit anything when he came up to the major leagues last year. So, his athleticism alone is what is going to keep him on these lists, at least for the time being. But look what he did last year. 10 games, hit under 100. But in AAA last year, had a 345 on base, a 440 slugging. But it's the athleticism with him, the speed, 44 stolen bases. I just wonder, does he have a home, with the Rays? I don't know. I wonder if he ends up being in a trade at some point. So we'll have to wait and see. It says here, Brujan shared many traits with Ketel Marte. Switch hitter, natural feel for contact. He's extremely tough to beat on the inner half because his levers are so short. I mean, who knows? If he can just develop a little bit more power, holy cow, this guy could be insane. I mean, he kind of, in a way, kind of reminds me, kind of like Carl Crawford a little bit. Righty bat. Or no, switch hitter. Sorry, he's a switch hitter. He can play some outfield, second base. That's why I wonder if he stays with the Rays, because you got Lau there. How long does Lau end up staying? Brujan, could he end up being the second baseman at some point? Will there be a spot for him in the outfield? He kind of reminds me of Carl Crawford a little bit, if that makes any sense. So, but they do see a 65 hit tool in the future. Gonna have to wait and see. Vidal Brujan. Daniel Espino, big fastball, 65 fastball at 21 years old. sits mid-90s, tops out near 100, big slider, good curveball. Hey, Daniel Espino, man, there's a lot to like. He's been mostly healthy. He's retained his big velocity while adding enough pitches to start. So another Cleveland prospect making it in the top 100. Where do they have him on Baseball America? Number 65. And so they have him at 54 there. And he's number 53 on Pipeline. So they're all pretty much in agreement right around like where he should be. Baseball America doesn't like him as much as Pipeline or FanGraphs, but again, it's the fastball with Espino. So overall, you got to be excited for it if you're Cleveland, man. Taking a look at Espino's stats. So he was in A-ball and high A-ball last year. I mean, look at the strikeouts in high A-ball over 10 starts. Are you kidding me? 16 strikeouts per 9. Under 3 walks per 9 at the same time. Are you joking? All around a home run per 9? Like, that is like, I mean, are you kidding me? That's not too shabby if you ask me. There's a lot of potential with him. A lot of potential. 53. Nolan Gorman. We've seen Nolan Gorman for a little while now, drafted in 2018. Thing with Nolan Gorman, man, is the power. He looks like a prototypical third baseman. I believe they're trying him out at second base as well. So the big thing with him is just the power. I feel like it hasn't translated to the numbers quite yet. 274 average, a 320 on base. The slugging is pretty good at 465. 14 home runs in AAA last year. AA, he had 11, so he had 25 total. So Nolan Gorman, I think he's going to be a really solid third baseman. So I believe they were playing him at second base. So I mean, you got Arenado. So to me, I feel like second base is where he's going to end up having to play. I don't know though. His run is not very good. His fielding is not very good. So it says here, Cardinals have Arenado, Goldschmidt. Doesn't have good range, not good hands. He can make routine plays though. I was gonna say, like, kind of seems like Dan Uggla a little bit, like a power guy, but not really good in the field all that much. Kind of like a stocky guy. Because if you look at Gorman, how tall is this guy? He's 6'1", 210. Wasn't Uggla right around the same height? I feel like he was right around that size. 5'11", 210. It sounds like Dan Uggla. So Nolan Gorman, man, the bat, there is a bat there. So if he can keep hitting, the Cardinals will find a way to get him in. Coming in, number 52, Cole Winn. There's another Rangers picture here. I like Cole Winn, man. I think Cole Winn needs to be higher, personally. I really do. I think he needs to be up higher than this. I like Cole Winn. He's a balanced arm. He's got good, solid velocity. I mean, come on. I mean, there's a lot to like here. I think he should be in the top half at least. His numbers last year were really good. AAA, 3.38 ERA. It's just the walks with him. Over 5 walks per 9 in AAA, 3 walks per 9 in AA. But he's a balanced guy when it comes to his repertoire. It's just he just has to improve on the command a little bit. But Cole Winn, exciting guy for the Rangers. Nick Lodolo. I mean, here's another one. Like a guy with good numbers on the scouting report. But why is he in the bottom half? 51? I mean, come on. Come on. 51? Are you kidding? With his fastball, lefty guy, mid-90s, he can pump it up a little bit. But look at the slider. 70 slider, 45 changeup right now, but it could be 55. I can see, he's a 3-pitch guy. But it looks like he has a sinker as well. While sinker slider types aren't exactly in vogue these days, Lodolo's exquisite command gives him a good chance to find success with an old school approach. I think probably because they're saying, he's got a bit more of an old school. Because you don't really see that a lot. You don't really see sliders, sinkers. I think we need to start seeing more guys like that. Guys that can kind of work around in the zones, show you some different looks. but he's got a big slider right here, and that's really going to help him out. Good numbers in the minor leagues last year. I think we're going to see Lodolo at some point. Double A last year. 1.84 ERA. 14 strikeouts per 9. 2 walks per 9. These are great numbers. So, I think Lodolo should be up higher than this, personally. That's just me. Number 50, we're at the halfway point. Robert Hassell. Robert Hassell. Hey, man, this guy, he's been, a lot of people are thinking, if maybe the Padres, they trade Hosmer. Maybe Hassell could be attached to try and get rid of Hosmer's contract. And looking at Hassell last year, A-ball, he hit really good. Yeah, not a lot of home runs right now. He's more of a hit guy at the moment, but he is 6'2", 195. He has room to grow. I'm telling you, man, give him a little bit more time to grow, and he's going to start adding some power. He's also athletic, a 31 stolen bases last year. He's an all-around really good-looking player. The hit tool, he did struggle in higher A-ball last year, only hit 205, but hey, whatever. He's just going to keep getting better and better. They really liked him in that. A lot of scouts loved Robert Hassell in that draft back in 2020. The hit tool alone is going to be really good. He's got a nice swing. So it's the power with him. It is the power. Is he going to grow into that frame? We're going to have to wait and see. So, but Robert Hassell, man, could be a really good outfielder down the road. We're in the top 50. We're officially in the top 50. Khalil Watson, electric bat. With Khalil Watson, uber potential. Speed, power, incredible bat speed. Will he end up playing short? He's got a, right now, not great defense at short. Maybe could end up being a second baseman. I think that's where he ends up being because he's got a 45 throw at the moment. So, or he maybe could end up being in the outfield because he's got a 55 run. But his bat, man, keep an eye out for the bat. Keep an eye out for the bat, man. Khalil Watson, he did drop in that draft. A lot of people were thinking he could have been a top 5 pick. But I guess there were some potential character issues with him. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But either way, an electric player to keep an eye out for. Curtis Mead, outfield prospect for the Rays. He's got a potential of a 60 hit, 55 raw power, 50 game power, and not much else. He's a hit guy. So Curtis Mead, they're saying here, the bizarre Mead is perhaps the most interesting prospect on the entire list. A pot-bellied free swinger who generates terrific power on contact. He plays third base like David Byrne dances. Very interesting. Do you put Mead this high? They have him at 97 on Baseball America. And he's not even on the top 100 on Pipeline. I'm going to honestly, I feel like FanGraphs, I don't know. I think because when you're really looking at it, he's got a 45 run right now, a 40 run for the future. There's no fielding. I don't know. There's not much of there's a 50 throw, so he could be decent. But I don't know, man. With him, I don't know. It's the bat. Is he going to be a DH? DH maybe? How tall is he? 6'2". Maybe could play some first. So he's interesting. I wonder if FanGraphs, they're trying to be kind of be against the grain here. It sounds like kind of like something FanGraphs would do. They just like the bat that much. But when it comes to his fielding, there's just not really much there. Not much athleticism with him. But hey, if his bat does the talking, could be a really interesting player for sure. But I think FanGraphs here, putting him in the top 50, I think they are trying to be a little against the grain. That just sounds like, to me, what they're doing. Number 47, Nick Pratto. Here's another guy, big power. 70 game power for the future. Good in the field. 55 field as of right now. He sounds like a first baseman just by looking at the scouting report. Not much run, but he's good in the field. Could be a third baseman because of the throw. So a swing and approach change unlocked huge in-game power for Pratto, who also has a good idea of the zone and is a great first base defender. Let's look at Prado's numbers from last year. Prado, look at his numbers from last year. Holy cow. He had 36 home runs in the minor leagues last year. Wow. Good on base numbers, incredible slugging numbers. Are you kidding? Look at these numbers last year, man. These are crazy. Wow. Whew. Nick Prado, that was in AAA last year too. We could definitely see him at some point. Look out for Nick Prado. Aaron Ashby. We already saw a little bit of Ashby last year. I feel like we actually saw a lot of Ashby last year. 13 games. So, I'm always weird about, I know there is like a limit on innings where you need to pitch a certain amount of innings to qualify for Rookie of the Year. But this guy, man, had a lot of innings last year. 31 is like, it's not a lot, but, for a guy coming up, late in the season, that's pretty good. That's a decent amount. So, I don't know. To me, I feel like Ashby is a guy, like, I guess you still can consider him a prospect. For me personally, though, when I think of prospects, I think of guys that, like, have had very little to no playing time in the major leagues. That's just me. But Ashby, in the minors last year, had a 3.58 FIP, 11 strikeouts per 9, 3.5 walks per 9. Didn't give up a lot of home runs. AAA, 14 strikeouts per 9, under a home run per 9. Walks have always been a bit of an issue for him. But with the Brewers, they're good at developing pitching. So let's see if they can keep him on the right track. They're saying here he could end up being a reliever. But he's got a 60 fastball, 60 slider, 55 changeup. So there is a lot of potential with Ashby. I can see why they put him in the top 50. When you got a 60 fastball, 60 slider, and a 55 changeup, that's pretty good. And hey, he's had he's had a few cup of coffees now in the major leagues. So would I put him on a prospect list? I guess, but I think I'd rather use this spot for someone else, honestly. But that's just me. Here we go. Josh Lowe. This is another guy. We're probably going to see a lot of him this year. We saw him for a tiny bit last year, 2 games. But in the minor leagues, in AAA, in 111 games, 22 home runs, 78 RBIs, 26 stolen bases. Just a physical guy. A lot of run, a lot of hit, or a lot of power. So athletic kind of a guy. There is definitely raw potential with Josh Lowe. The hit tool could be better. But he hit 291 last year. So I think there is definitely some improvement there. Could you bump this up maybe to a 40, maybe 40 for now, and then 50 for later? Let's see where Lowe is. Pipeline. So he's at 50 on Pipeline. And then on Baseball America, he's at 44. So like I said, they gave him more of a hit tool, 45, because he had a good batting average last year. So I think there is a lot of potential. Lowe, good in the field. He's got a good arm. He's got power. He just needs to get a little more consistent with the bat. But look out for him. Look out for him with the Rays. Ronnie Mauricio. This is a guy I'm not too big a fan of with Ronnie Mauricio. There's a lot of potential with him, but when you look at his numbers, in a very small sample size with the Mets in AA, he hit 323, but in 100 games at high A ball, he only hit 242. So he had home runs, 19 home runs, 63 RBIs, but AA, I don't know what happened there. He did better in a small sample size at AA than he did in single A. So I don't know. He's interesting. He's when you look at his scouting report, he's got raw power down the road. Game power looks okay. Enough of a run. He's got an arm. I don't know. I don't get excited when I look at his stuff. I don't know. that's just me. They have him at 92 on Baseball America. That sounds more right to me. They have him at 78. So yeah, I agree. I think FanGraphs, they're favoring how raw he is, you know. So I agree more with Pipeline and Baseball America. I'd actually probably put him, I don't know, 90s or the 80s. That's where I would put him personally. So, but hey, can he put up those numbers again like he did at AA last year? 43, Bran Rocio, another Cleveland prospect. I mean, look at this. Look at the scouting report here. Very balanced. Could use some more power. But hey, we're 175 at 5'10". I mean, you're going to have to add some weight here, my friend. Come on. We got to get that power going. So, hit tool's already a 50. Run is a 60. Field is a 60. Good enough arm. Rocio's feel for contact and defensive ability drive a high probability everyday profile. Rocio, man, he had some pretty good numbers last year. Looking at his numbers, AA, 44 games. He hit 293, 360 on base, good slugging. Gets home runs, gets some stolen bases. I think he's just an all-around good-looking player. So when you look at the numbers, when you look at the scouting report, just looks solid. So look out for him. 42, Reed Detmers. Here's another one where he had, kind of like Ashby, he had a few cups of coffees last year. 5 starts, 20 innings. Horrible numbers in the majors. Very bad. But, you know, rookie, it's fine. In the minors, though. Look what he did in the minor leagues. This guy's curveball is off the charts. He had 14 starts overall last year. In AA, 3.50 ERA, 3.27 FIP, 16 strikeouts per 9. Are you kidding me? But to me, when I look at his numbers from the major leagues, he just seems like someone that just needs to put it together. Because his curveball, a 70 curveball, it's off the charts. He's not going to blow you away with velocity. You know, maybe could lower the walks a little bit. The walks last year, 4.79 walks per 9 in the majors. But they looked a lot better in the minors. So, but Reed Detmers, this is a guy, he just needs more time. He just needs to he just needs more experience. That's really what it is at the end of the day. 41. Almost at the end. Roansy Contreras. I think this is a guy. Keep an eye out for him. They sent him back in the Jameson Taillon deal. This guy's really good. I mean, look at the scouting with him. He's got a 60 fastball, 55 slider, and a 60 curveball already with decent command. Look at his numbers from last year. He actually pitched a few innings. Looking AAA, or actually, let's go to AA. He had a 2.65 ERA, 12 starts, 12 and a half strikeouts per 9, under 2 walks per 9. I mean, like, really, what were the Yankees thinking here? Like, they're sending him back for Jameson Taillon? Was I the only one that just was not, like, when I saw that the Yankees traded for Jameson Taillon, was I the only one that just was like, okay, Taillon? You couldn't get Joe Musgrove? Like, I mean, I don't know. But you gave up Roansy Contreras, man. I don't know. I think he's going to end up being really good for the Pirates. When you look at his numbers, man, his scouting, I mean, come on. He's already a good 4 or 5 in a rotation, according to FanGraphs. Fastball took an unexpected leap in 2021, so his velocity definitely went up. So maybe that's something the Yankees thought, I don't know, maybe we're not really liking the velocity too much, but I don't know. What was it with the Yankees when he was with them? How much more did it get? Was there more life to it? Was there more velocity? Was it both? I don't know. But Contreras, man, this could be a frontline guy for the Pirates at some point. Where does Baseball America have him? They have him at 80. I actually disagree with Baseball America here. I disagree with Baseball America. I think he should be up higher. I like where they have him on FanGraphs. 71 on Pipeline. No, so I agree with FanGraphs. I like this spot for him. I think he's underrated. So I like that. Could you maybe go a little lower? Yeah, maybe like in the 50s. I could see that. But I don't know. I think he's going to end up being really good. So Colton Cowser. This was a pretty underrated guy in the draft last year. So be on the lookout for Cowser. He was a good college bat. They think his hit tool could be a 70. This guy in college was out of his mind. He played an A-ball last year, 25 games. He hit 347 with a 476 on base. Are you kidding me? Like, what? Colton Cowser in college? Dude, he was really good. Look at his college stats. So Baseball America has him at number 98. Number 98. Look at these numbers. Are you kidding me? I mean, I agree with more of FanGraphs here. Colton Cowser was a really solid college player. I mean, he just didn't play like for someone like Vanderbilt or, Mississippi State or like any of these big schools. He played for Sam Houston State, but his numbers, 374 average, a 490 on base, a 680 slugging. I mean, come on. Good stolen bases, power. I mean, I'm just saying. Colton Cowser, Orioles fans, you should be excited for him. And actually, I really liked when they drafted him. They drafted him 5th overall, but they were able to sign him at an underslot deal, which Mike Elias, that's what he likes to do. So I really like this for them. I think he's going to end up being really good. I think that's a good range for him, honestly. I do. They have him at 98 on Baseball America. And on Pipeline, they have him at 66. I could, maybe see in the 60s or the 50s for Cowser. Maybe FanGraphs are pushing a little hard at 40, but they really like the hit tool. Anytime I see a feel for hitting, I always like reading that in a scouting report. The feel to me is a very underrated scouting report thing. Like, sure, mechanics, bat speed, that's always nice. But if you have a good idea of, the strike zone, just bat to ball skills, I think that's really underrated. Cowser, I think, is going to be a really solid player. So, Oswald Peraza, we're in the 30s. Hey, what else can I say about Oswald Peraza? I think, honestly, this is a guy that should get a chance. I think he should get a chance in the majors, to be completely honest with you. I mean, if we go to the Yankees as of right now, I like Peraza, man. I think he's really good. He had good numbers last year. He's an all-around good player. At short, but now they have Kiner Falefa. So I think Peraza at this point is really just depth. I don't know. I mean, if Donaldson goes down, which very much definitely could, or Stanton goes down, or whoever, Judge, if he ends up getting hurt, there's a lot of injury risk on this Yankee team. I'm not trying to, poke fun at the Yankees, but I think everyone would agree there's always injury risk when it comes to the Yankees. So I think Peraza, I don't think it's a surprise that the Yankees have hung on to him, because they probably think, hey, this is a guy that we can turn to. Could he end up being a guy for the bench? He's got good speed. He's got a good glove. He's got a good hit tool. He's got decent power. And this is a guy that can help you out. Look at the numbers last year. He hit 294, a 348 on base, 466 slugging. This is all in Double-A. 12 homers, 20 stolen bases. These are really good numbers. I don't know. So I think there is definitely a chance that we can see Peraza. So Luke 22, trade Glaber for pitching and play Peraza. I think, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing with Glaber. I have no idea. I don't know, man. The fact that FanGraphs has DJ LeMahieu on the bench over behind Glaber. This blows my mind that FanGraphs is doing this. Like, what are they doing here? I'm sorry, but Glaber should not be starting over DJ. 38, Kyle Harrison. This, I actually like this a lot. I love this spot for Kyle Harrison. I'm telling you, Kyle Harrison, I agree with FanGraphs again. 95 on Baseball America. 75 on Pipeline. I love this spot. This guy is underrated. Lefty, was out of high school. I am telling you, he's going to be good. Look at his numbers from last year. First off, look at his scouting report. He's 20 years old, already has a 55 fastball, already has a 60 slider. Yeah, the command, the changeup could get better. He could add another pitch, but his numbers last year in A-ball at 19, he had 23 starts, 14 strikeouts per 9. Are you kidding? A 3 ERA? I mean, come on. This guy's really underrated. He's 6'2", 215. He's got a good build and only more room to grow. I'm just saying, man. Like, I think Kyle Harrison's a really underrated prospect. So, man, oh man. Here we go. Diego Cartaya, catcher. Here we go. So with Cartaya, you're more of a power over hit guy, decent in the field, but an arm. He's got a good arm, 70 throw, raw power potential of 60, game power potential of 60. With Cartaya last year, here we go. He still has a long way to go, but A-ball last year, 31 games, 10 homers, a 298 average, a 409 on base, 614 slugging. You know, could this be the guy that ends up taking over for Will Smith down the road? So, Kevin, NGO, Corey Lee, Hunter Brown, we talked about them earlier. Yeah, I mean, I think they can be, I think Hunter Brown, more likely you see him over Corey Lee this year. Yeah, I think you could see Corey Lee. Corey Lee, I think, still has a little ways to go with his glove. But the hit is, you know, pretty good for what it is. But I think Hunter Brown could definitely contribute this year with the Astros. So, but Diego Cartaya, I don't think you're going to see him really anytime soon. He still has a long way to go, but this could be Will Smith's replacement down the road. So, power and fielding and the arm with Cartaya. Here we go. Number 36, Soderstrom. The big thing with Soderstrom is the hit. 60 hit for the future, 60 power raw for the future, 55 game power. You know, not much when it comes to the fielding and the running. They're looking at him as a first baseman. You know, it looks like they're not going to keep going with him at catcher. So, Soderstrom, to me, this is a left-handed bat. He sounds like a first baseman. 6'2", power, hit. You know, not much of an arm. He sounds like a perfect first baseman for me. He may end up like Bryce Harper and Will Myers, where the A's cut bait on him, catching to get his excellent bat to the big leagues sooner. I mean, look at his numbers from last year. He's only 20 years old. And look at his numbers last year. 57 games at A-ball. Hit over 300, 390 on base. Very good bat. So, Soderstrom, could you maybe see him at some point this year? Maybe. The A's are they're gonna have a lot of playing time available. So, 35, Luis Matos. We had Heliot Ramos earlier, and now we got Luis Matos. Matos, to me, seems more, while Ramos felt more like raw, Matos feels like more of a sure thing, like a higher floor. He's got, the hit tool is still far away, but raw power's there, athleticism, arm. So he has a plus bat, or his bat speed is plus. He's definitely got the legs to run. I mean, the run tool is 60, so he can basically play anywhere in the outfield. They're saying it's enough to stay in center. His aggressive approach is holding him back from being a 55. So let's look at his numbers. He hit 315 at low A ball. And then, is that where he was for the most part? Yeah, so he was at low A. He hit really well there. It seems like there's more of a floor with Luis Matos than Ramos. It's athleticism, so you're just going to have to wait and see how he does over the next couple of years. But he comes in at number 35. Number 34, Bryson Stott. I like this spot for Bryson Stott. I think he's a really solid-looking player. Hey, could this be the shortstop for the Phillies? We'll have to wait and see. Didi Gregorius, he's got a lot of pressure on him. But Bryson Stott, this is a young guy who could come in and play. He had good numbers last year. He looks like a pretty balanced guy according to his scouting report. 55 future value at hit, 50 future raw power, 45 future game power. The run could be better. It could be a little quicker. The fielding looks pretty average. But he just seems like, I've read about him before where he has a good baseball IQ. He's kind of one of those guys. But last year, Double-A, he hit really well. Hit 301, 368 on base, close to a 500 slugging, 10 homers, 36 RBIs. So I like Bryson Stott, man. If we actually read here, skyrocketed through the minor league system. But yeah, I mean, they're saying right here, we expect him to usurp Didi Gregorius as the Phil's everyday shortstop. Yeah, I mean, Bryson Stott, man, I think he's close. He's close. 33, Jackson Jobe. Potential. I mean, all these guys have potential, but Jackson Jobe, this is one guy, man. His slider is already off the charts. He has a 60 slider already at just under 19 years old. He's already got velocity. He's already got a curveball. He already has a changeup. The command right now, they're saying 25, but it could be a 55 down the road. But it's the stuff. Go look up Jackson Jobe, dude. The guy's slider is out of this world. There was a reason he was a high draft pick this past year in the draft, number 3 overall. The Tigers, they're really getting pictures now. So this is no stats on him right now, but I'm telling you, the slider is absolutely Looney Tunes. So number 32, Aurelvis Martinez. I like this. I like Aurelvis Martinez. I love the power, and I love his arm. I mean, it sounds like a third baseman. I'm a sucker for third base guys with just raw power. I don't know what it is. I love that. So, but Aurelvis Martinez, hey, power hitting third baseman. Looking at the numbers last year. Overall, last year, he had 28 home runs, 279 average in A-ball. The average really dipped in high A-ball over 27 games, so we're going to have to see something come along there. But in A-ball, he really showed a lot. 572 slugging. So we just got to wait and see what he does more. I'm going to assume they start him either in high A or double A. So I'm going to keep my eyes out for him this year. Probably not going to see him this year, though. Hunter Greene. Oh, I love me some Hunter Greene. I don't know. I feel like I would actually put him a little higher on this list. The only reason is he's really a two-pitch kind of a guy right now. Fastball, slider. There is a changeup. But, dude, this guy pumps gas. He sits in the upper 90s. He's got velocity. 103 he can top out at. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up adding more to it. He's a big dude. He reminds me of a Aroldis Chapman from the right side. Like, if that makes any sense. He's insane. Dude, fastball is just crazy. Let's see. Where is he at on... He's 35 here. So 31 there. And on pipeline, 22. I lean more towards pipeline on this. I like Hunter Greene. I just like velocity, man. Dude, when you got a velocity and a slider and command, I mean, at the worst, you look like a dominant closer. So his numbers last year, dude, I thought maybe the Reds could have called him up. At AAA, 4.13 ERA. In AA, he had 7 starts, under a 2 ERA, 13 strikeouts per 9. You know, in AAA, he was giving up some home runs, so we got to look out for that. But this guy has all the physical tools, man, to be really good. So, gonna have to wait and see. Now, question is, Reds fans, who do you favor more? Nick Lodolo, who will give you more pitches, more of a complete repertoire, or Hunter Greene, who comes in at you with just power? Basically a Aroldis Chapman. So, let me know. Here we go. Jeremy Pena, number 30. I like that. I do love the glove with Jeremy Pena. It looks like he is going to be their next shortstop, I would imagine. But I love the glove. I love the athleticism. His power really took a step forward last year with Jeremy Pena. I mean, look at the numbers last year. His power, like I said, only 10 home runs, but that was over 30 games. You know, so actually, I take that back. I mean, this guy could end up getting a lot of home runs. He had 287, a 346 on base, 598 slugging. I mean, come on. I'm just saying. He's already got a good enough glove. Look out for him. So, here we go. Ooh, Nick York at number 29. Look at Nick York, number 29. I like it. I like it. Could this end up being a little too far? You know, could you maybe see Nick York down a little further than this? Hey, you know, I'm not going to be mad at this. I love me Nick York, man. Really underrated guy. I remember when I first saw Nick York, okay, when I was doing my research on prospects for the draft a couple of years ago, I remember, you know, I'm looking up guys that were like considered underrated prospects, and he was on a list of underrated prospects. I remember I passed him. I saw the name. I was like, oh, okay, Nick York, infielder. Okay, looks like he's got a good bat. Let me look at these couple of other pictures instead. So I remember seeing the name on this. It was Baseball America's like top underrated players. But the reason he was really being looked over was because he ended up having shoulder surgery. So a lot of people were worried, like, oh, how's the arm going to be? How's his power going to be? Dude, this guy is a gamer. The guy can hit. He gets dirty. Dude, he's going to be really good, man. I think he's the next great second baseman for the Red Sox down the road. If Story ends up opting out of his deal with the Red Sox, don't be surprised if Nick York is the next guy. But look at Nick York's numbers last year. Only A-ball. But, dude, A-ball, he was killing it. 323 average, 413 on base, 500 slugging over 76 games. Moved him up to A-ball, 333 average, a 406 on base, a 571 slugging. Are you kidding me? Dude, Nick York, I'm telling you, this guy's going to be good. He's going to be good. Just mark my words. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Red Sox fan, but I don't know, he gives me those vibes, you know? I've seen a lot of players come and go through the Red Sox over the years. He just gives me those vibes. The jersey gets dirty. I love it, man. He's going to be really good. Remember the name, Nick York. 28, George Kirby. I'm a big fan of George Kirby. I'm a big fan, and I actually would put him up higher than this. I really would. I actually think George Kirby, maybe this is a bit of a hot take, but I think George Kirby could be a top 10 prospect. I'd actually maybe even say he already is one. Dude, the guy had really good numbers last year. He had extremely good numbers last year. He keeps the walks down. He doesn't give up any home runs. His strikeouts are good. He's got a great fastball already. The only problem is the secondary pitches, but if those numbers can just get better, because he can already throw strikes. If these grades can just step up a little bit, the fact that he already throws strikes with tons of velocity, dude, the potential is already there with George Kirby. It's already there to be a frontline guy. The slider and the curve and the changeup, they just need to come up a little bit. So, fastball, control, doesn't give up home runs. I'm telling you, man. George Kirby's going to be really good. 6'4", 215. I like him a lot, man. DL Hall. Look at DL Hall. Another Orioles sighting. This is one where everyone's looking at Grayson Rodriguez, but DL Hall is really good too. A lefty, big fastball, good curveball, good changeup. It's just the walks with DL Hall. The command, they don't give him a good grade. His walks were, they've been kind of blah in his so far, but a ton of strikeouts. I'm just saying. Luke, you're asking what does the second set of numbers means? What do they mean? So if you look here, this first number right here is what it is currently, and this number is what they project for the future. Okay, so right now they're saying he has a 30 command, but they think it could be a 40 down the road. So, and then here, this is what he kind of sits at, and then this is what he can top out at with his velocity. Okay, so DL Hall, there's a lot of potential with him. With big strikeouts, he just has to get the walks down. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs, so that's good. Just got to get that control down a little bit. So, but I like it. 27, DL Hall. What do they have him here? They have him at 52 on Baseball America. And on Pipeline, they have him at 90. Wow. I'd probably go, because I love the lefty velocity. I guess I would lean more towards Baseball America because of the control. If he can get that down, I would definitely obviously put him up higher. But he has had some problems with the elbow, so that actually did cost him some time last year. Actually, if we look at his numbers, yeah, he only had 7 starts. So he just needs to show that he's healthy, and he just needs to improve the control. So, but there is a ton of potential. 26, Luis Campusano. I feel like we've been seeing this name here for a little while. Let's go. Where do they have him here? They have him at 53 on Baseball America. And they have 44 here. So FanGraphs likes him a little more. More of a power guy. He's got a good arm. Power and an arm. Built like a linebacker, Campusano's combination of power and contact skill is rare, and while he's no Molina brother, he's good enough to stay behind the plate. So Campusano, looking at the numbers last year, he played 11 games last year. Remember in 2020 he had a home run? I believe it was his first at-bat. But in AAA last year, 15 home runs, hit 295, 365 on base, 541 slugging. Do they give the fielding numbers? Nah, they only give it to the major leagues. So, but Campusano, man, he's been looked at now for a while as being one of the next better catchers in the game. So, I don't hate that he's up this high. I just feel like there is a little bit of fatigue with him. I feel like, he was a rookie in 2017. 2018, he was an A-ball. 2019, he was in high A-ball. He came up in 2020, AAA. There's a little bit of, not a lot, but for me, I feel like I've just heard his name a lot. So maybe this year he finally takes that jump. 25, Brennan Davis. I'd actually put Brennan Davis up a little higher. I like Brennan Davis, man. But this dude's an athlete, and the dude just hits. They got him at a 30 hit right now. I don't care, man. Like, this guy's numbers, they were so good. So good. I love the on-base skills that he has. 397 on base over 15 games, 367 on base at 76 games. Sure. Could he cut down on the strikeouts? Of course. He could definitely cut down on the strikeouts. But I love the run at 60. He's going to be able to go out there. He's going to be a good defender for you. He's going to give you speed. He's going to give you some power. He's going to get on base. He's got a good arm. I think Brennen Davis, man, be excited for him, Cubs fans. Here we go. Jack Leiter, big name of the draft last year. Hey, I'm not going to go too much deeper into Jack Leiter. I feel like I've talked about him so much going back to the draft. But with Leiter, really the only thing with him, obviously the velocity's good. Good curveball, good slider. Changeup has potential. The command, he tends to give up some home runs. That's the only thing with Leiter. But this guy just competes, man. He's got good velocity. The thing with his velocity, the velocity looks like just a very good pitcher, but it's not just the velocity, it's the life on his fastball. Like, he just gets so much spin on his fastball that it just looks different. So, Leiter, man, future ace. Future ace. Alek Thomas. I like Alek Thomas. You're going to see Corbin Carroll here in a little bit. Alek Thomas, Corbin Carroll. I like Alek Thomas, man. There's just not much of an arm, but the numbers, man. Very good looking numbers. This guy last year, over 34 games in AAA, hit .369 with a .434 on base, a .658 slugging. In AA, 283, 374, 507. Doesn't strike out a whole ton. His ISO percentage at AAA was a 289. That is fantastic. I'm just saying, man. Alek Thomas, there's a lot of athleticism with him. A 60 run. Do not be surprised if you see him this year with the Diamondbacks. And that's why I'm saying I really am high on the Diamondbacks. Maybe not high, but I think they could surprise some people because they have some younger talent and they have improved a little bit in their bullpen. I think the Diamondbacks could maybe be something, and I think Alek Thomas is someone that could end up giving you a bit of a lift. He was in AAA last year, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him with the Diamondbacks. So lefty bat, power, hit tool, speed. I like it. Henry Davis, 22. My guess is Baseball America doesn't have him as high, if I remember. 41. Okay. And then I'm guessing Pipeline has him. He has to be a little higher. 24. So, okay. So Pipeline and FanGraphs, they're a little more excited about him. I mean, all three websites are excited, but Baseball America, they tend to be a little more conservative, I feel like. That's why I kind of like Baseball America. But there's obviously a lot to like with Henry Davis. A big arm, power bat, could end up being a pretty good hit tool at 50. But he's got tons of power, tons of arm. Henry Davis, man, this is a guy where you end up you just get a really good player here. It's a really good player, a guy that you can kind of just be the face of that franchise, a catcher, like a leader of the team. I really like it, man. So, however, the one thing that can hold him back is the fielding. So, there are concerns if he can be a long-term catcher, but with him, he could move, there's not much of a run tool at the moment, but dude, put this guy in left field. Holy cow. This guy could have a cannon in that outfield. Man, Henry Davis, look out for him. MJ Melendez, power with Melendez. I think he had over almost 40 home runs last year. He had over 40 home runs. He had 41 home runs. This guy his bat was incredible. Look at good, my God. It's 41 home runs in the minor leagues. Are you kidding? He's got a good arm. He's a lefty bat too. I mean, come on. Fielding's good. This is their next catcher, man. Next catcher, MJ Melendez, a ton of power. That's what I'm excited about. So, Mick Abel coming in at number 20. Mick Abel. I really wanted Mick Abel, man, for the Red Sox. I really did. There's a lot to like about him. 6'6", 190, still a lot of room to grow. For a guy coming out of high school, good fastball already, good curveball. Changeup still could use some work, but I mean, come on. This is a guy down the road. You know, good for the Phillies for picking this guy up, man, because there's a lot of projection with Mick Abel. So, I mean, the fact that he already had a fastball curveball at 55, that's really good. Actually, what were his numbers last year? He pitched an A-ball. 14 starts. ERA is a little high, but whatever. His walks were high. He is a little lanky, so I wonder if maybe, 6'6", he's still trying to learn his body a little bit, So, but Mick Abel, man, he's got all the potential. Number 19, Marcelo Mayer. We were talking about him earlier. Listen, Mayer at number 14 on Pipeline. I believe where was he again on here? 15. I like Mayer, man. I do. I really do. But he's just so far away at this point. It's hard for me to... I just disagree with putting someone this young, this high. I just think I don't know. But I understand why. He just, when you watch him hit, when you watch the video, he just has you can just tell a good feel for hitting, a smooth swing. He just looks already like he's got a swing for the major leagues. But he's just young. That's the only thing. Just wonder, one bad habit here could it turn into another bad habit here, and then everything just there is a ton of potential. It's weird with him because he's not very fast, but he's smooth in the field. His field is only a 40. I think it's more of a 50 because when you watch him in the field, he kind of just glides out there. He's not fast, but he kind of just has good footwork, if that makes sense. So, Alaska, the difference with Davis is he was a college bat. So, Mayer is a high school bat. So, I'm okay with a college guy being up higher because they've already been exposed to a lot more competition. Where with Mayer, I would even say maybe even Mick Abel might be, out of high school. Pictures I can, and that could be the same thing. It could be the same thing. Maybe Abel shouldn't be this high. But I'm okay with college guys being up this high. But Mayer, I don't know. Maybe I'm just more conservative when it comes to the younger guys. So, but there's a lot to like with Mayer. Just go watch video. Smooth swing, smooth in the field. He's just a smooth looking player. He looks like he already has a good feel for the game, if that makes any sense. I think he's gonna be really good. Hopefully he can stay on track. I'm hoping for the best because the Red Sox, man, that'd be awesome to have, someone like this. Could you imagine Marcelo Mayer, Nick York, middle infield down the road? Oh, man. So much potential. Number 18, Marco Luciano. A lot of power. That's the big thing with Luciano, man. Is it Luciano? Sorry. But looking at the numbers, in A-ball, 18 home runs, 373 on base, 556 slugging. Obviously, very good numbers right there. So with Luciano, he's got bat speed. That's what really sets him apart, where he has elite bat speed, offensive ability to profile anywhere on the diamond, which is good since he's trending off of shortstop. So he has enough athleticism to where he can play other positions. He has a good enough arm to where he can basically play anywhere else. 30-40 fielding, I don't know, is that corner outfield potential? Have to wait and see. But the big thing with him is that he already has amazing bat speed at such a young age. He is very raw. Could you argue maybe he could be down a little lower because he is so raw at the moment? But when you look at the average from last year, it was okay. He didn't do very well at high A ball. So I think this could be a little high, but what can you do? Jordan Walker at 17. I love it. I love Jordan Walker, man. I think he's gonna be really good. He's a huge guy, 6'5", 220. Could this be? If you look at the run, there's not a lot of speed with him, but he's got a good arm. I think he still could end up being at third. And with Jordan Walker, man, when you look at Jordan Walker, I remember in the draft a couple of years ago, he was just he just sounded really mature for his age already. And he's not even 20 years old yet. Ted Evans with a $5 super chat. Appreciate the time and effort you put in. Very knowledgeable and informative. Keep up the good work. Go Ems. Ted Evans, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming out tonight. Hey, man. Mariners fan. You're going to be quite excited to see what we have coming up here in the next few guys. So keep an eye out. Ted, thank you. But Jordan Walker, I like him a lot. I just love just go watch an interview with him. He's just very well spoken. He just sounds like just a good guy. You know, he just sounds like just a nice dude. You know, works hard, but he's got big power. Look at the raw power potential. He already has 60 raw power, and they think he could be a 70 game power down the road. The biggest comparison with Jordan Walker is Jermaine Dye. That's the biggest one. But look at Walker's numbers. He's had some good numbers so far. A-ball, he hit 374 in A-ball last year. 475 on base. 687 slugging. High A-ball, still hit 292. 344 on base. 487 slugging. I mean, come on. Jordan Walker's going to be really good. I'd argue maybe you could even put him up a little higher than this. You know? We'll have to wait and see. He's a big dude. Could he end up moving off of third? I think he could end up staying there. He could move to a corner outfield spot. We'll have to wait and see. Tristan Casas. Tristan Casas. This is another guy. Good head on his shoulders. He's a hard worker. It's the bat. It's the power. He's got a decent glove out there at first base. Tristan Casas, man, you know, he's going to be a first baseman DH. You know, that's what he's going to end up being. But he's a huge guy, so he's a great fit at first base. But the power is so good with Casas already. But it's not just the power. It's not just the ability, the hitting ability. It's just he's very patient at the plate. He is okay with walking. Walked 19% of the time last year. He had a 381 on base, a 485 slugging to go along with it. You know, average was a little low at AAA, but hey, growing pains. AA, 284 average. A really good on base again, 395. Still around the same slugging. He's going to be really good. I'm really excited for Casas. I think there's definitely a chance you see him this year. He is a big guy. He's 252 pounds. Big dude, man. So, but again, it's the plate discipline with him. He just has a good feel for the strike zone at a young age. And that's something you just can't really teach. You know, he just has that ability, you know? So I'm really excited for him. Again, it says right here, plate discipline, pitch recognition. He can also hit to all fields. That's another good thing. That's something I haven't mentioned all that much. A lot of these guys, especially the higher guys, it's not just the mechanics. It's not just the bat speed. It's where they can hit. Can they hit opposite field? Sure, they can pull, but can they hit to center? Can they hit oppo? Casas can hit all over the place. So that's going to be fun. CJ Abrams, this guy hurt his knee last year. I believe it was his knee. This guy was killing it before he got hurt. Look at his numbers, man. Look at his numbers before he got hurt. Before I get to the grades, dude. AA at 20 years old hit 296, 363 on base, a 420 slugging. Not a lot of home runs. I think the power is still coming. It's 185. He still has a lot of room to grow, but he had very good numbers before he got hurt. Hopefully, you know, he comes back healthy and he's good to go. You hate to see an injury like that, you know, with someone that has so much potential at a young age. But overall, though, he's athletic. He's so athletic, and that's why I think he's going to end up being fine. These guys, man, these days with, the way, physical therapy has come these days, it's just so advanced. With a kid, this young, this athletic, I think he's going to end up being just fine. He's got an 80 run. Are you kidding? Dude, wait for that power to start coming a little bit. He's already had a 50 hit, and they're thinking a 70 hit for the future. He's going to be really good. So, look out for him. So, I really hope the best for his health, because he was really exciting last year as a prospect. And then he got hurt. So, but, I guess he's doing all right so far this spring. So, here we go. Number 14, Corbin Carroll. So, we talked about Alec Thomas earlier. Corbin Carroll, this is another guy that got hurt last year. I think he ended up having to get something done with his shoulder. Dude, this guy last year in high A ball, 7 games, this guy had a 435 average, a 552 on base, a 913 slugging. What the heck is going on here? He had a 478 ISO. What the heck? What is going on? Corbin Carroll, I'm telling you, man, this dude, he's going to be really good. He's got a 55 hit. He's got decent power potential. He's already got a 70 speed. He's really good in the field. Hopefully, this is another guy, he stays healthy. Corbin Carroll, stay healthy, my friend, because this guy's going to be really good. So, Carroll, Abrams, injuries, but tons of potential. Noelvi Marte, I feel like this is a name we don't hear about a lot because he is overshadowed a little bit in that Mariners system. But speed, power, you got to love it. You got to love the athleticism. I mean, look at the numbers last year. A-ball, high A-ball, 290 average, 333 on base, 419 slugging. On base slugging could be higher, but in A-ball, he had 17 home runs and 23 stolen bases. That's an all-around looking player right there, man. Preston, yes, we talked about Ellie De La Cruz. Nick Kowal, good grief. Good grief. But yeah, Marte, I feel like, is overshadowed a little bit. So, I mean, because you got a lot of good prospects in that Mariners system. I feel like you don't hear about him very much. He is far away, so, but this is an exciting one. So, shortstop. Could he end up being the future shortstop for the Mariners down the road? But you got to love the athletic ability. Number 12, Anthony Volpe. Here's another one. Young kid. A-ball. I feel like Yankee fans, there's a lot of them out there. They're already kind of, saying he's their next Jeter. They're already giving him the job. Come on. Let's back off the kid a little bit. Let him breathe. Let him continue to develop. He hasn't played above A-ball yet, but he looked really good there. All around good numbers. 286 average, a 391 on base, a 587 slugging, 15 homers, 12 stolen bases. I mean, there's a lot to like with Volpe. There's a lot to like. So 5'11", 180 pounds. They said here he bulked up, and so he was able to add more strength, which you guys know me. I've been doing powerlifting now for the last 11 years, 12 years now. I'm telling you, man, adding a little strength, it's never gonna hurt. So Volpe, I like when I see someone bulking up a little bit, bulking up. But Volpe did just that, and everything got better last year. Because it's funny, if you look at his numbers in 2019, there wasn't a lot going on. I mean, it was 2 years ago, so it was, he was 18 years old at the time. But he was the 30th pick overall in 2019. Rookie, whatever. He just didn't really show too much out of the gate. But holy cow, he killed it last year. Overall, he had 27 home runs. He had 15 at high A ball. But when you're looking at the numbers overall, 27 home runs, 33 stolen bases, hit around 290 overall, over a 400 on base overall, around a 600 slugging overall. I mean, these are extremely good numbers. I really, as a Red Sox fan, I don't. But as a baseball fan, I hope he continues to put these kind of numbers up because these are stupid numbers. So he really shot up these boards, man. So Anthony Volpe could be the next great shortstop for the Yankees. Shane Baz, this is another one where I'm like, are we going to waste a spot on Shane Baz? Because he was pitching in the postseason last year. He was pitching in Game 2. He was against my Red Sox. So that's why I'm like, he already had 3 starts last year. Really good, though. I mean, look at the numbers. He had a 2.03 ERA. This guy's going to be really good. I'm not saying he shouldn't be this high, but he's already just pitched a lot. And he pitched in the postseason. So I'm wondering, like, I get it. Obviously, still not a lot of innings in the majors, but I don't know. To me, if he's pitching in the postseason already, should he even be on this list? I don't know. But obviously, this guy's going to be really good. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, good control. What else is there to say, man? This guy's just composed. He came over from the Pirates in that trade for Chris Archer. Holy cow, the Pirates are hating themselves. There's not much else to say. The fact that he's pitching in a postseason game in his first year in the major leagues, that tells you all you need to know. Gabriel Moreno, we're in the top 10. Top 10. Hey, Gabriel Moreno, solid with the glove for the most part, but he's got a bat. He's just an all-around good-looking catcher. And the big thing that sets him apart here is the athleticism. You don't see a lot of 50 run for catchers. That's what he sets him apart. You know, he's not amazing with the fielding. He doesn't have a great arm, but the fact that he has enough athleticism at the moment, to me, it shows that there's so much more to like with Gabriel. If you take a look at his numbers last year, really good numbers. Double-A in 32 games. I think he got hurt last year, I believe. He hit 373 with a 441 on base and a 651 slugging. Are you kidding me? In 2019, he had a good year at A-ball. Hit 280, 337, 485 slugging. I mean, come on. There's a lot to like here. There's a reason. He's just an athletic-looking catcher. You know, he's very well composed. You know, he's just an all-around good-looking catcher. You know, and you don't see catchers that are so balanced where they can hit for power, they can run, you know, they can field. You don't usually see a lot of that. And the perfect guy here, JT Realmuto. When you think of a guy like that, that's really, you know, that sounds like JT Realmuto. So, number 9, Josh Jung. We talked about him earlier. I wonder if he would still keep the number 9 spot as of right now. He had to get surgery on his shoulder. There's a lot to like about Josh Jung. A hit tool, could be 55 down the road, 60 raw power, 60 game power down the road. He sounds like a third baseman. Not much of a run, but he's good in the field and has a good arm. He sounds like a perfect third baseman. So with Jung, is it Young or is it Jung? I feel like I always mess this up. I'm sorry. I see J, so I'm going to say J. It's the second grade teacher in me. We just worked on our phonics today, everyone. Anytime I see J, I see the J. So I'm going to say Jung. Is it Jung or is it Young? What's the conclusion on this? Is it Josh Jung or is it Josh Young? Gareth Miller, thank you. It's Young. Okay. Well, hey, don't blame me. It's just the second grade teacher in me, okay? I see the J, okay? I'm just following the rules of phonics, okay? I'm just saying. Nick, you got it right. Hooked on phonics, man. Hooked on phonics. So, but I remember saying Josh Jung at one point, and someone was like, huh? You mean Young? And I was like, oh, is it Young? I don't know. They just put Young. Y-O-U-N-G. What is wrong with that? So, KP. I actually talked about it just a little bit. The Rockies and the Jays. I like the trade for both sides. I think Grichuk's bat fits really well at Coors. Good exit velocity, good fly ball percentage. I like it. And for the Blue Jays, Raimel Tapia gives him some speed. It gives him a contact bat. They already have a lot of power there. Grichuk, sure, he would be fine with them, but I think the Rockies, they're both going to be better fits with the other team. So I like the trade overall. I think it was good for both sides. And I think the Rockies, they're going to really like Randall Grichuk a lot. So he plays hard. And Raimel Tapia, it's just it just gives the Blue Jays a different look. More, some speed, some contact. But Josh Young, not Jung, Young, last year, 19 home runs. He hit 348 at AAA. There's a reason he is this high on this list. And he's actually not very high on Baseball America. He's 26. And then on Pipeline, he's 29. So I actually agree with FanGraphs. I lean more towards what they say. I'd probably drop him a little bit now because he got hurt. So, but he's a good-looking third baseman. Hopefully he can get better soon. O'Neal Cruz at number 8. I love me some O'Neal Cruz. I think he's going to be a better fit for right field. He's basically Aaron Judge. He's the same build. I think he's the same height. I think. Aaron Judge, 6'7", 282 pounds. O'Neal Cruz, 6'7". Okay, O'Neal Cruz. Okay, here we go. Hey, O'Neal Cruz, are you watching right now? I love you. You a great power bat. You're fast. Dude, you're a skyscraper. Come on. Go eat something. Come on. We got to put some size on you, my friend. 220? I'm not saying you got to be Aaron Judge, 270. But come on, Cruz. Come on. Have some ice cream. Come on. Eat something. Dude, 23 years old. How much did I weigh at 23? I had been powerlifting at that point for a couple of years. I think I was like 215, but I was also 5'11". So I was around the same weight and, almost a foot smaller. Just saying, O'Neal Cruz, we got to eat, man. We got to eat. Here we go. 6'7" Cruz has somehow stayed alive at shortstop and grown into elite raw power. His approach and lever length creates strikeout risk. So that is the one thing I always, it's always the tall guys that, it always feels awkward for baseball, but this guy has figured it out. Look at his numbers last year. Are you kidding? I mean, look at his numbers. 17 home runs. This dude hit 524 at AAA. Good grief. Are you kidding me? A 1,200 slugging. Dude, he went up to AAA for 6 games, and the Pirates were just like, oh, okay. All right. Just call him up. He's good. He's fine. But then he also has 18 stolen bases last year. What the heck is going on? This guy is a freak. He's a freak. O'Neal Cruz. He's a freak. And he's got an arm. So that's why I think he's going to end up being a right fielder. I just think he's got an arm, man. When you got that much of an arm, but this low of a fielding, I just think he's just a better. He's Aaron Judge. That's what he is. You got to be excited for O'Neal Cruz. I actually really agree with this spot. He's not as high on the other two. He's 14 on Baseball America, and on Pipeline, he's 26. So I actually agree with FanGraphs. I actually do like him in the top 10. He's that good. And the fact that he can even play shortstop, that's nuts, man. So, number 7, Francisco Alvarez. Francisco Alvarez had a good year last year. This is there's always a debate, Francisco Alvarez or Gabriel Moreno. I'm gonna lean towards Gabriel Moreno, to be honest with you. Draftnik Mark, I'm sorry. I know you're, don't cry yourself to sleep. I'm sorry. But, with Alvarez, I do like him. I like Moreno because I just like the athleticism with him more. He just reminds me of, like we read earlier, with JT Realmuto. So, but there is a ton of power potential with Alvarez. Look at the raw power, 70 raw power. But he could end up being really good in the field. He's made a lot of strides in the last year. But look at his numbers. Batting average was whatever. And but on base 351, slugging of 358, 22 home runs. This dude was 19 years old. He is definitely more what seems like a bat first catcher. So, but I think overall, you know, if he just keeps improving with the glove and he just keeps the bat what it's doing. He's a big dude. He's 233 pounds. That does worry me a little bit because I like, especially catchers, they're just already putting so much strain on their bodies as it is. So I would like him to maybe cut down a little bit. This was heavier than what I was at this age, and he's definitely more athletic than me, I'll tell you that. But this was like 20 more pounds than what I weighed at around this height. I'm 5'11". So, that's pretty heavy that's a pretty heavy dude. So I would like for him to lose a little bit and be a little more nimble. The bat is going to be great. The fact he's hitting 22 home runs at high A ball at 19 years old, that's a special bat. So is it all muscle? I got to look. Here we go. Francisco Alvarez. I'll be the judge. I'm a has-been power lifter. I'll be the judge. This dude's thick. He's a thick dude. This dude's 19 years old. Joe Hill with a $5 super chat. Tigers fan here. Excited for the season. I think we have some guys coming up here. Joe Hill, you are right on track, my friend. You're right on track. We got some Tigers players coming up here. I'm excited to talk about them. Joe Hill, thank you so much, my friend. I'm excited for this year too. But Francisco Alvarez, there's no way this dude's 19. This dude's 28. He's got to be 28. Actually, nah, he does look a little young. He is a pretty thick dude. He's got some legs, dude. This guy's legs are beefy. I'm someone where I can appreciate. Maybe it sounds a little weird, but this dude's legs are thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. I'll tell you that right now. In competition, I've squatted 530 pounds, and that's my gift for my body. Everything else, I look terrible, whatever. But I will appreciate my legs. I got some leg strength, so I can recognize a set of thicker than a bowl of oatmeal set of legs. So he's got them. So I just don't want him to get carried away. I don't want him to because trust me, I just don't want him to try and keep bulking up. Hopefully as he keeps playing a little bit more, he'll slim down a little bit more. He is a thick dude. But he does look a little bulky. I'll tell you that right now. He's definitely got a lot of thickness to him. So I just wonder, with baseball, can he hold up? That's the only thing. Is he going to start getting, injuries, nagging injuries down the road? The guy can hit. I just wonder if he's going to hold up at catcher. So, Wardy, my guy Francisco, about to take league by storm. Dude, Wardy, I don't know if you were just here a second ago, but this guy, dude, what is this guy eating? Like his legs are thicker than an extra meat double Reuben in New York. Are you kidding me? But I do want him to, try not to get so bulky. being a catcher, man, you got to be a little more nimble. So he's definitely like, when I'm just looking at him, I'm seeing someone. I will disagree. He's not all muscle. He definitely has some body fat on him. He definitely does. I'm going to say he's probably around 23% body fat, somewhere around there, 22, 25% body fat. Where I'd say for him, probably a good range would be 15 to 18. I think that'd be healthy for him. He's definitely not. I've been playing this game for a little while. I've been doing powerlifting now for like 12 years. I've been in the fitness game for a little while. I don't know. I'm around like 18 to 20. So he looks a little thicker than me. So I'm going to say he's probably around like 22, 23%. That's not a bad thing right now. I just don't want him to, when you start carrying all this extra weight, it is, for powerlifting and strongman kind of stuff, that's, it's fine. But with baseball, I just don't want him to, you can kind of be a little more prone to injuries at that point. Either way, the dude looks like a tank. Look, who the heck is this guy? Who is that? Cardinal Francisco Alvarez. Oh, okay, here we go. But yeah, this dude's a tank. I mean, look at the hamstrings. Are you kidding me? Look at the hamstrings. They're literally poking out right here, man. I can appreciate that. But I'm crushing on this guy hardcore right now. I am. I mean, I like it. I like seeing some of these thicker dudes. I'm just saying, I want to know what he benches. What does he bench? I would imagine he probably, looking at him, I'd say he probably does a touch and go. I think he could probably touch and go 4 plates on each side. I think he could. By looking at I'm thinking he probably squats around. I don't know. Has he got a workout on here? Here we go. Here, let me go. I gotta look. What do we got here? You got videos? That's Canelo Alvarez. Just some catcher work stuff. Well, I'm gonna have to see a workout video from Francisco Alvarez. Francisco, if you're watching, I'd love to come lift with you one day, my friend. You look like a strong man. Strong man. But anyway, Wardy, I think he'll be a DH halfway through his career. Guys his size usually. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just big, So, either way. 22 home runs at 19 years old. Not bad. Riley Greene coming in at number 6. 45 hit tool. 55 raw power at the moment. 45 game power. Surprisingly enough, Riley Greene, he actually went to high school. This is right near me. So I remember hearing his name. Just on the local news and stuff. So I've actually been this high school. The gym that I go to had a powerlifting competition at this high school. So it's in Oviedo, Florida. So, but yeah, I've definitely know exactly where this high school is. I've been here probably 4 times now. So, but Riley Greene, believe it or not, he is a very athletic guy. His 40 run, not much of a run, but he gets it done in the field. So they're projecting him as a right fielder. I wonder if he ends up being a left fielder because his arm is not graded very well. So, but the guy's got power. It says here, Greene's swing is somehow lovely and ferocious at the same time. His odd gait bellies his athleticism, which is most evident in the batter's box where he is a heart of the order prodigy. So, but yeah, Riley Greene, man, had good numbers. I think we're going to end up seeing him really soon. So, they're actually saying he's going to open up at AA. Okay. He played 40 games at AAA last year. Huh. They're going to put him back in Double-A, really? He hit really well at Triple-A last year. He had over 300 at Triple-A. But they're going to start him off at Double-A? Or is that oh, that's last year. Okay, sorry. I was about to say, what? I didn't realize that. But, yeah, look at these numbers, man. 400 on base, 553 slugging. He's not going to give you a lot of speed, but he's just going to be a really good corner outfield bat. Really good. So, Tigers, man, you know, and it only gets better from here. At number 5, Spencer Torkelson. Now, there's a bit of a debate. Torkelson or Riley Greene? To me, I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for this bat. Torkelson's bat, while sure, maybe Greene can give you a bit more in the field. Torkelson's bat is special. Man, you know, it's really good. With Riley Greene, the throwing does look a little less, but the fielding, how are his routes? Do they say anything about his, because obviously the speed's not quite there. Do they say anything else about his fielding? So he can hit to all fields. That's another good thing. Strikeout rate has been a little higher for someone of his track record. They don't really say about his fielding. While unathletic in some ways, Greene is a fish in water where it matters most. So they're saying it's his bat, and then he'll give you enough in the outfield wherever he ends up playing. But Torkelson, I think dude, his bat, man, it looks dumb. It looks dumb. Just go look it up. I mean, just go watch highlights. Dude, he looks like the closest thing to Mike Trout. When you watch him swing, it just looks ridiculous. Dude, power for days. He has such a good feel for the strike zone already. Good feel for hitting. Power. Hit tool. I mean, it's special. I think the special bat, while playing a good enough first base, I think it outweighs, and that's no disrespect to Riley Greene, because I think he's going to be a really good player too. But I think Torkelson, it's just special, you know? That's just the way I see it. So, he had really good numbers last year. Greene overall, last year he had 24 home runs. Torkelson, on the other hand, he had 30 home runs overall. Good on-base numbers at every level. He made it to AAA in his first year. So, I could maybe see him starting at AAA this year. And then maybe coming up at some point. But maybe get him a few games at AAA. But, man, he's going to be really good. And the fact that his on-base stuff, he was in the 500s with his slugging at every level. On-base was perfect everywhere. His strikeout percentage actually got lower at AAA. So, that's a good sign. So, I think Torkelson is going to be special, man. I really do. Number 4, Julio Rodriguez. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I forget who. I remember who the top guy is on the list, but I forgot Rodriguez was number 4 here because I did look at this earlier. I took like a quick look, but now that I've like talked about everyone, I'm like, wow, Julio Rodriguez number 4. You know, everyone, I am going to be coming out with my own rankings. I'm going to do a top 50. I think I'm already kind of putting it together as it is. I'm not kidding. Maybe a bit of a hot take here. I think Julio Rodriguez, when I talk about Torkelson and his bat being special, Julio Rodriguez to me is just could be even more special. The bat, the ability to hit for average, power, speed, fielding, plate discipline, everything, the arm. Julio Rodriguez, if someone told me that they thought Julio Rodriguez is the top prospect in the game, I wouldn't be upset about that. I wouldn't be angry at that at all. I think Julio Rodriguez, if someone thought that if he was the best prospect in the game, I wouldn't at all. I wouldn't really disagree. I think he has a case for it. He does everything really well, and he's only 21 years old. I think there's an argument for him to be number one, and I am coming out with my own rankings. I might put him at number one, honestly. I just love that he is so good at everything. He's just really good at everything, you know? And we're going to talk about, you know, a couple other players here, but Julio Rodriguez, I think, should be top 3, whether if it comes to Baseball America, which Baseball America has him at number 2. And then Pipeline, they have him at number 3, I believe. So I think he should be number 3 on here. He's number 4. So, you know, I don't know. I think this is low. To me, he's a top 3. So I don't know. I almost kind of want to put him at number 1. So, but Julio Rodriguez, I mean, what else is there to say? Let's look at the numbers. We're almost at the end here, folks. I appreciate all of you sticking around. We've had around 200 people the entire time. Just talking prospects. I love it. But, I mean, 50 hit already, 55 game power already, 60 raw power already, 60 speed, 50 field. You know, the fact that his worst stat is a 50 field, he's going to be a right fielder. You know, the arm alone he'll be maybe not a center fielder. He could be. If they wanted to put him out in center field, I don't see why they couldn't. But they say he projects more as a right fielder. So with Rodriguez, the numbers last year, phenomenal. He had, you know, the power actually could get better. But the fact that his batting average at AA over 46 games was a 362. He had a 461 on base and a 546 slugging. Those are really good numbers. The only thing with Julio Rodriguez is I do want him to start hitting a little bit more for power. You know, he had 13 home runs overall, but I think he's still growing into his body a little bit. He's 210, so I still think just keep getting stronger, you know, and I think that power and just the more experience he gets, this dude's going to be a 30 home run guy every single year. He's going to be a guy that you are drafting near the top of your board for fantasy baseball every single year. He will be that kind of a player. So at some point, the fact that his on-base percentage has been so good in his career at the minor leagues, that is the one thing I look out for minor league players. If I'm going to give you like I always look at on-base percentage for young players. Because to me, the more plate discipline they have, the better chance I think they have of being a successful player. I think Julio, I'm excited for him, man. If you want to put him at number 1, I say go for it if you want to. Now, number 3, Grayson Rodriguez. You know what? In a way, I can kind of respect FanGraphs being a little spunky, you know? And I think that's what they were trying to do here. I think they were like, you know what? Let's put Grayson Rodriguez in the top 3. You know, it'll grind some gears out there. Let's put him at number 3. And listen, with Grayson Rodriguez, there's an argument for him to be in the top 3. This guy is going to be extremely good. He's going to be really good. He's going to be the ace for the Orioles for a long time. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. 70 fastball, 70 slider. He has a 70 changeup. Are you kidding me? Good grief. He's got 30 70s already, and he's got 2 60s. You don't see that very often. It's not very often you see that. The command 40, whatever. But, dude, in AA last year, 18 starts. Hit a 2.6 ERA, 13 strikeouts per 9, 2.5 walks per 9, under a home run per 9. He's going to be phenomenal. Grayson Rodriguez, he is going to be phenomenal. So he's 6'5". He's the perfect picture. He's got a cutter. He sits upper 90s, mid 90s. If he stays healthy, this guy is going to be fantastic. So, in a way, I would probably put him at number 4 because Rodriguez is that special to me, to where I think it's nothing against Grayson Rodriguez. I just think Julio Rodriguez is going to be a star. And I think Grayson Rodriguez is too, but I think Julio Rodriguez is going to be just such an impact everyday player. While Grayson Rodriguez, when he takes the ball every 5 days, he's going to be an event every 5 days. While Julio Rodriguez, he's going to be an event every day. So that's the difference between those two with me. Number 2, Bobby Witt Jr. And this is another one where, so the thing with Bobby Witt Jr., I like the power a bit more with Bobby Witt than Rodriguez right now, but I like Rodriguez's ability to hit more. Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be one of these guys. He kind of reminds me, just reminds me of like a gritty player, like George Brett, almost. You know, similar builds. George Brett around 6 foot, 185. Bobby Witt Jr. 6'1", a little bigger than George Brett. But, you know, Brett, man, dude, this guy just every year consistently hitting a good amount of home runs, good amount of RBIs every year, good on base numbers every year. You know, I think Bobby Witt Jr., he's just going to be a gritty player that is going to be just people are just going to love him for how hard he plays. And I think he's going to be really good. I think the only thing holding him back, you know, I don't want to say holding him back because he is going to be really good, but I like Julio Rodriguez's ability to hit more. I think Rodriguez is going to be better with average and with on base. While I think Bobby Witt Jr., this is a guy, he's going to put up good power numbers. I think Julio Rodriguez is going to be more of like a 25, 30 home run, 35 home run per year kind of a guy. Where Bobby Witt Jr., I think he could put up 35, 40 home runs per year. I think he's going to be a little better in the power department. But Rodriguez, I like his ability to be able to just hit along with power, if that makes any sense. Taking a look, we had one more player, and that's Adley Rustchman. Did just have a bit of a tricep injury. Is there actually an update on him? I guess he's going to be out for... How long he's going to be out, did they say? So I'm guessing he's probably going to be out for... Okay, a few weeks. So, but yeah. Rustchman, he's going to be really good, man. He's going to be a cornerstone player for the Orioles. The guy can hit. He can hit for power. He's really good in the field. He's just he's a transcendent kind of a catcher. He's going to be one of those... Like, kind of when Joe Mauer came up. He's going to be like that, where he's going to be really good with the pitching staff on top of everything else that he does. A good arm, good in the field, a good bat, good power. He's just going to be an all-around really good catcher. But the fact that he's a catcher, I think, sets him above everyone else because he just has like that... He has that it factor about him. He's a catcher. You don't really see catchers that are... so good all the way around. Bat, average, power, fielding, arm, you know? I like Adley Rustchman, but I like that he's going to be just really good with the pitching staff too. So he's just polished. Like he probably could have been in the major leagues a couple of years ago. You know, if you really wanted to throw him out there, he probably could have figured it out. So he's going to be really good. I think there's an argument for Witt to be at number 1. I think there's an argument for Julio Rodriguez to be number 1. I feel like there are some snubs on here. There's a couple of players I'm thinking, if we go on Baseball America, because I'm a visual person, let me kind of go down this list a little bit. I don't think Kyber Ruiz was on FanGraphs list. Was he? Let's see. Jose Barrero, Kyber Ruiz, for example, would have been eligible under the older roster rules. Okay, so they consider those guys graduates. All right, so I guess that makes sense. How about someone like Michael Harris? Where's Michael Harris at? Where's Michael Harris on this list? Why is he not on here? Did they really leave off Michael Harris? He doesn't qualify. Really? Why? Why doesn't he qualify? I don't know. But I'll have to go through these. But everyone, that is the top 100. Again, top 3, Adley Rustchman, Bobby Witt Jr., Grayson Rodriguez, Julio Rodriguez at number 4. I think that's a bit of a debate. But yeah, everyone, that's the FanGraphs top 100. Everyone, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. I'm going to start getting out of here. I got to get to bed. It is Friday. TGIF, right? Thank God it's Friday. And then we got the weekend. Everyone, like I said, over the next couple of weeks, lots of previews. I'm going to be doing rankings. Probably going to do a top 50 prospects. Might even do a top 50 players in major leagues. I can't wait for the comments on that if I end up doing it. But hey, you guys want the content. I'm going to do my best. But lots of previews over the next couple of weeks. It's an exciting time, everyone. But I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all the super chats tonight. Go have yourself a good night. If I don't see you this weekend, have a good weekend. And I'll talk to you next time.